Here's a little song I wrote about our
good.
upcoming guest.
Okay.
Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti. Can you guess who our guest is?
Is that it? Oh, it's Paul Giamatti.
You are a winner, my friend.
I was wondering where you were going with that. You didn't really go anywhere.
Well, these are called micro songs. They're like my micro impressions. They're songs, but they're just micro songs because I don't want to hog the spotlight from our incredible guest, Paul Giamatti. I love hanging out with that guy.
Very cool dude. Kind of guy you would hang out with, have some pizza with in New York.
Super.
It was very fun to talk to.
We get into paranormal.
Oh, yeah. He's into the paranormal. He has a podcast coming out about it. And he really gets in it. And I like that because everyone has had some experience with something weird, something that they want to tell you about.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good stories about that. He's been in a lot of, obviously, the big movie. Did someone say
movies? The big movies.
You got on. It's great. You got an encore. And he's been in. He was in 12 Years a Slave, the Feel Bad movie this summer. He's on Billions.
Thanks for doing all the talking.
Sideways was the major one.
Adams, did you mention Adams?
John Adams.
Johnny Adams.
We learned a lot about J.J. Adams because Adams, we were laughing that you can't really tell if he's doing a good impression or a bad impression because it's so long ago. But
I'm Paul Giamatti.
He's very... Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm Paul Giamatti. He was so nice, and he's had such an amazing career. He does comedy and he does drama, both perfect and really fun to talk to. I would listen to this one. Don't press the pause button.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't go over to some other podcast. Just listen and enjoy
these 40 commercials.
Paul Giamatti.
That was good.
That's all I got.
I know. It was a good one.
Well, I think you've done very well. I mean,
thanks.
There's quotes online. I mean, there's fans. I mean, you're a thing. You're a thing. You're like,
okay.
You had Billy Bob Thornton on. That's another guy who's a thing. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, well, he's like a serious, funny guy. He's like, he's amazing.
Wait, you had him on what? Oh, on Billions?
No, I had him on. I've been doing this podcast.
Whoa,
for like 2 months. I know.
2 months.
What the fuck?
Yep.
He's a newbie.
Yep.
Paul, did you have to take any special classes?
Any courses
podcast?
or anything?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I found that I didn't need to.
Okay.
I'm learning on the job.
Okay, that's what we did.
Yeah,
we haven't learned one thing this whole time, and it's been a year and a half.
Has it been a year and a half?
Yeah. I think if you're curious, just curious about anything, that's a good place to be in. Because I'm curious about you.
Well, no, that's it. No, and I think the thing is that I was like, well, I'll talk about all this shit that I never talk about, like UFOs and stuff like that. Yeah. That's super interesting to me. I can endlessly talk about that stuff, Bigfoot and stuff like that, like just endlessly. So,
I love that stuff, and I think that's a good area. Because I like, first of all, that you're veering a little bit away from Saturday Night Live, which helps us.
Yeah.
And Bigfoot hosted in 2011.
Did he really?
That was John Mulaney, who's a size 14. So that was why they called him Bigfoot. But let's go back to Sasquatch, and a Bigfoot.
Yeah, let's talk about this stuff, Dana.
Absolutely,
because I think
I'm happy to talk about it.
Let's spend a little time on it.
I'm happy to talk about Saturday Night Live. I don't know that I have as much interesting stuff to say, but
your episode is great, and we'll save that. That's a teaser.
Okay.
I went over it. It was received incredibly well, and you were very funny in it.
God,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh
right,
yeah.
good.
It's a great episode.
Good to hear from you guys. Good.
Actually,
us,
Dana,
yes.
I want to jump in and say, in your monologue, you were like shot out of a cannon. You were sort of like you're ready to go. Is it a little nerves or what?
I think I was nervous. I think I was also, if I remember right, I was really sick. So I was sick as a dog. So I think I was overcompensating.
Wow.
I think I was like, I got to get myself really ramped up because I was really unwell.
What
I had a terrible
time to be sick.
Terrible.
The only incredible thing about being sick, and David, I've talked about in terms of stand-up or whatever, your nerves go away because you're like, I don't think I can even fucking do this. but I guess
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'll just do
Yeah.
it, but I'll no
Yeah.
way I'll be any good.
Yeah.
But you could.
No, I actually
Yeah.
like being sick in some things or really tired too, because then
Yes.
I don't over fucking do it. I overdid it there, but I don't normally overdo it. But I do think I was extra. I mean, I normally overdo it. And if I'm sick or tired, it'll cut back on my overdoing.
But that monologue, in fairness, for anyone, I've hosted twice, Dana's hosted. Even if you've been there and you see it and you go, I wouldn't get nervous. You hear that music in the back and you're like, fuck, is this really it? And then you start to shake a little. It's just too much. It's like,
no, I was very nervous doing the
overwhelming.
whole thing. I was so nervous I didn't really want to do it at first. I was like, I don't want to do this. They came in and offered it to me and I was like, fuck no, I don't want to do that. That would be I would fuck that up. That would be terrible. I would screw that up. I don't want to do that.
But you do get scale. I think
Yes,
that's what I
you do.
got.
Yes,
And
you
so,
do.
yeah. Well, you also, I think, I'm sorry to harp on this, but it was interesting that it was a blizzard that weekend.
Yeah.
And I think from your monologue, I could gather that it was going to be hard to get an audience. You don't even know if you're doing the show.
I think that's true, as I remember. Yeah, it was a gigantic blizzard. It was a huge one.
Because you were thanking the crowd for even coming in. You
Yes.
said, we didn't know if we'd have a crowd. We
Yes.
didn't know if, and that's just one more layer of making you sick.
Shut the whole thing, shut the whole city down. And I think it was the first time they'd ever had the party afterwards, not they had it in that studio.
Oh, a little mixer?
The little mixer. It was very much like a little
I've
mixer.
never heard of it there.
Yeah.
It would be
was
so
very-
convenient. but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, just
Yeah, it
break
was-
open the whatever you're drinking right there
It
on
was a
the
little
ice.
sad. Yeah, it was a little sad and kind
Yeah.
of, there was
Usually
some sort of,
it's spectacular. Well, since we're on the topic, Paul the Rocker. I mean, once you locked into these characters, you're really, really funny. The British guy doing the gibberish.
Sure.
The Lumford twins with Fred Armisen, who I
He doesn't even remember.
that I remember being the most fun. I liked that a lot. I thought that was really funny. And they did all the sets really well and the costumes and the other people were so great. So exactly like the people on those kind of hee-haw type things.
and
it was
Fred
just great.
Armisen was with you, and he's
Great.
always
He was great.
hysterical. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the magic of it, is that it's just picking the show by Wednesday, and then these beautiful sets and beautiful costumes, and you
Yeah.
never think it's going to work, and then the air show, it's like, hey, we're doing, I guess, what we do.
I can remember them saying, like, they were like, what do you think this guy's hair would be like? And I said, sort of like James Caan, the kind of like James Caan 70s perm that he had.
Yeah.
And then in 2 seconds, they had that wig
It's
made,
great.
and it was just amazing.
Well, they didn't
really
have it
funny.
made. I wore the James Caan big
Oh.
wig in
Did you do that all-
91. In 91, and I wrote on the bottom, I said, save it for future hosts. But
There we
anyway,
go.
you look great in it. No, they do that like
Sometimes-
that.
Dana, you ever try on the pants and it says former cast member,
Really?
It'll say someone from 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Farley used to wear, once he found Belushi ones, he would put them on under his own pants
Really?
during the show. And I go, that's like a crazy person thing to
Like
do.
his lucky pants.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
can't. I go, how do you move in 2 pairs of pants?
2 pairs
But
of pants.
Didn't bother him. Didn't bother
And
him.
he moved amazingly in
Mhm.
2 pairs of pants.
Very
Well,
agile.
they have a big bulletin board in the wardrobe area, and they list your name, and then they list your sizes. Waist size and
Sure.
and length. And I was the only one who had reverse sizing. So Lovitz and I have this funny long-term thing of reverse sizing, because at those days I was very slender, so my waist.
So you were
was-
very slender and your legs are incredibly short.
no, my leg. Well, they had me at 32, but I don't like short.
Oh,
pants.
super long legs. I'm sorry. I see what you're
No,
saying.
not super
Right.
long, but I had a small waist.
Inseam. Dennis
Really?
Miller
Well-
used to say, "Fucking Rob Schneider's from the bottom of his nuts to the top of his boots is 11 inches."
Jesus, that sounds so mean.
By the
Yeah,
way,
just shy of a foot between the knee bone to the hip bone. Okay,
femur to anklet.
That's
Giamatti looks a little like Schneider, which I think you said Giamatti, right?
Somebody said, or
Somebody
you said
it
on some
to
talk
me.
show.
Do I
That you
look like him? Do I look
No.
more like him? Am I aging more into looking like him? Because I never thought I looked like him, but I was mistaken for him. There was a period of time
Really?
where I was constantly
window.
mistaken for him. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what started it, and I don't know what ended it, but there was a definite like.
You went into it and you faded out of
Yeah.
it.
It's a weird gap that where everybody was convinced I was Rob Schneider.
It's not in totem, but maybe a little bit about the upper lip and the nostrils. He has kind of an Elvis-y thing going on there. He played Elvis in Japan. We talked about that. There might be something right in there.
I thought it was the eyes more too, or something. Kind of the big.
Well,
eyes.
if you listen, let's just say this probably will never happen. There's a Grown Ups 3. We have a Schneider contract situation. We call Paul. All I need is 10 minutes in the trailer with you. Can you say Maze? You could sound like him.
I don't look like Paul Giamatti. Quit saying it.
He's got
They're
hair.
both offended.
He's got hair. No, I wasn't offended. I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, that's so weird. If you put us together, there's no way you would think we were the same.
I was having dinner with him once. A guy came up, Paul Giamatti, and he
really.
Just
now that's the thing I always wonder: is does it happen the other way?
No, I'm not Paul Giamatti. Fuck you.
Hey, fuck you.
I was trying, Rob, if you're listening, we're joking.
There's another little window where I got mistaken for Larry the Cable Guy, which I actually can see more than the other thing.
That's 90% hat, though.
At least 3 people thought I was.
I love that one.
Well,
that's a good one.
That's okay. Yeah. Do you mind lowering your voice for a second and saying "Get her done"?
Get her done.
Okay.
Get her done. It's not bad.
Well, it is the guy.
But I did wonder if people. There was no mistaking him for me, though. That would never happen.
Why is that a one-way street? But if you have that hat, he wore a hat, right, Dana?
Yeah.
Dana,
I don't have a face or a voice. Like, I'm a completely neutral person, so I'm able to. If I put a hat on and just I can walk amongst.
Just look like a.
I don't. Really? I don't have any. You could put a nose on. I'm perfect to add a voice or a thing. It's a blank canvas.
People don't recognize you. People don't immediately. Your voice, nothing.
It's frustrating. What they do is they squint painfully. Like, why do I know that guy? But I love being anonymous. I'm not. I'm an introverted extrovert. But David and I used to be mistaken for each other a lot.
I could see that. I could sort of see that. I could
Same
sort of
tribe.
See that.
He's got the little beard now, and we both went
to differentiate you guys. That's a good idea.
I had bangs till I was 55. And then I said, my wife said,
"Page boy, like the Dutch boy here."
Yeah, my wife said, tired of having sex with Howdy Doody here. Okay, let's comb it back and do something. Although Howdy Doody,
a little Brill cream.
Both of you guys have good heads of hair. It's nice to see.
There's a lot of product. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Why not?
If I came out of a pool, you would comment to somebody.
You would throw up.
Jesus Christ, there's an island out there. That peninsula is shrinking. I'm just in a dentist mood today.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I'm punchy already, which is
a thing you go to normally, or is that?
I love doing Dennis Miller. I think he's brilliant. I mean, the way he'll filter language. Like, give me a subject, anything, or an idea, anything.
Having an ice cream sundae for lunch.
Well, that's a good dietary choice. Okay, give me the 7,000 calorie split. All right, I'll put that in my orifice and hold my stomach for 2 hours, cramping. So that's a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon. So
I got a freezer burn in my perineum.
You never said exactly. David is a heir apparent to Dennis. Doing this podcast, his throwaway wit and references. So they're twinsies. But anyway, Paul, what we love about you.
Yes.
Paul hasn't even talked yet.
Paul, this is fantastic.
We're getting to you, Paul.
Let's do a little bit supernatural, because I just want to tell people it's also on YouTube, and you can listen to it.
Because there's good animation with it. Yeah, it's called Chinwag, and there's animation with it. We wanted to do the whole thing animated, but that was too expensive.
Right. That's just to point out to people that they're talking about supernatural stuff and waking dream states, and then when you see it on YouTube, you're seeing animation. As
some of
the
it's
story's
animated.
going. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, the animation's great, and that was the idea, and maybe someday we can do the whole thing.
Paul, are you allowed to show clips, or are you not allowed?
I don't. It's an excellent
they
question.
show the whole thing. I don't know if they've harvested clips of your show and put them all around Instagram.
They do. They put clips up on the social media and stuff like that. So
but if you say someone in Washington, there's a new possible Bigfoot, can you show 10 seconds of that, or is that illegal?
Of a person who filmed a Bigfoot in Washington? Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. We haven't gone to that territory.
I think you can on social media, but YouTube might be a different story.
Interesting. We haven't. we've been wanting to do stuff like that because actually I keep talking to people who have crazy stories and I want to record them and put that on and which that would be fine. But showing like the chupacabra, somebody filmed the chupacabra in like, Arizona. I don't know if we could do that.
Wait, sorry, I'm a neophyte. Chupacabra?
The chupacabra is getting around.
What is it? Is it a serpent?
It's like a crazy little
coyote-ish.
Yeah, coyote crazy thing that kills cattle and goats, and it's a bloodsucker. It like drains the blood out of goats and cows and
it's
stuff.
It's sort of a Mexican. It started like in Mexico, and it's like a lore that they say it's out there. Then it's all over worldwide.
It's all over.
I saw it.
You've seen it?
You did?
I saw something demonic. So I'm at a ranchy farm place, right? We have a koi pond because it came with the house. But anyway,
at the ranchy pond, at the ranchy place, there's a koi pond.
A koi pond. So I see a thing bigger than a cat, smaller than a dog, creeping in slow motion to the koi pond.
Right.
And I'm just looking at it. So I sort of knock. It looks at me. It looks really chewed up. And it had a demonic face.
Yeah.
Just like intensely scary. I was told it's just a chewed up bobcat. So then I just banged the window and ran away. I think the chupacabra has horns. I can't remember. Oh, it didn't have horns.
Yeah. I don't think. I think the chupacabra has horns.
Paul might appreciate the story. Dana, you can tune out. But when in Grown Ups 2, oh my God, a couple of people remember it.
That's our third reference to.
I know.
I didn't expect it to come up this much.
What was the box office gross domestically? 165 million.
I think it was exactly that. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
pre-pandemic.
We have a scene where the grandma has a big beat up, chewed up toe, and she goes, "My toe hurts, and one of the big, I don't want to give the whole movie away, but she takes her sock off, and it's so big, swollen, and disgusting, like obviously cartoony, that we all react, and then they go to I think Chris Rock says, "Oh, Kobe Bryant lives," or whatever, whatever. So no, Toby Bryant, whatever. So
Toby Bryant.
we do a couple. Everyone, you cut around. You go, Spade. Here's 3 for you. We do that. So we get to Salma Hayek, and she goes, "What should I say?" And I go, "Just stare and go, chupacabra."
Awesome.
And she did it, and then no one laughed, and she looked at me, and I go, "I think it's funny. I think someone will get it.
I think it's great.
What the hell? Yeah. That's great. It didn't make it, huh?
Didn't make even a rough cut, Paul.
So, Paul, about chinwag.
Yeah, chinwag.
What is the stuff that floats your boat as far as supernatural? Is it people seeing ghosts, aliens?
Yeah, ghosts are interesting. Aliens. I was super into for a long time alien abduction stuff, which kind of doesn't really, I don't think it happens so much anymore, which is weird that it was, again, there was like a window of time. It was like me being recognized as Rob Schneider. There was a window of time where people got abducted by aliens. Well, that doesn't seem to happen as much, but I'm fascinated by that and UFOs and stuff like that, and Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, all this kind of stuff. But ghosts are really interesting to me too.
What's the stuff that you believe the most? Ghost?
Probably the ghost stuff the most, which is actually in some ways kind of the wackiest. I don't know. It's like, but yeah, probably the ghost stuff, only because I've actually had weird experiences like that. I haven't seen a UFO and I haven't seen Bigfoot.
I wanted to ask you about that, but what's interesting is when you talk to people, because we have Irish relatives in our family, they're not even saying it's a crazy thing. They're just like, "Oh, we had a ghost on the house. We'd see a little girl in a dress, and we'd wave hi to it, and everyone saw the same image." And they weren't even frightened of it. It was just the ghost was there. And that's when you kind of go, well, maybe what?
Yeah. No, I think there's some places like in Japan, they're super, like 99% of the population believes in ghosts. And so everybody just accepts that you have a ghost, and people will like leave out snacks for the ghost and stuff like that to appease the ghost and stuff like that.
Do the snacks ever get eaten like Santa's cookies?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't think,
they're thinking of E.T. or something.
Yeah. But
I have a question that's not to bum you out.
Please.
But
here we go.
Yeah, I know.
And
wow.
I could take this out later.
Happen?
We've never taken anything out. I could take this out later. But they said there for a while that there was a theory, and you might have heard this, that some of these alien abductions were people that had relatives visiting their room and they were dreaming it, and that's how it would come out when they would remember it, or that's what they were told or something. Have you ever heard
that? They would remember something that was happening, just relatives specifically?
Well, like a little darker than that.
right. Yes.
in the room.
Yes, I understand.
And so have you ever heard something like that?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
And that it's all a kind of, there's a word for it. There's
Waking dream state, but there's a more
there's
scientific
that, but
word.
there's a thing called, I think, a screen memory, which is when you invent a memory to hide something from yourself like that, like what you're talking about, because you can't process that. So you think it's something else. So you
and people probably steer you to that. So it tones it down.
Could be that too. But the thing you're talking about, Dana, is called hypnagogic sleep, which is sleep paralysis.
I've had it. I've
had it too.
Can we hear your story?
I've had it. I mean, I had one of the kind of ghost encounters was probably sleep paralysis, which is when I woke up in a hotel that was very haunted in Dallas. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the country, and I couldn't really move, but I was hearing sounds, knocking in the walls and all kinds of stuff like that. But then what I felt was there was someone in the room with me, and then I felt like someone got in a bed with me.
Housekeeping?
Yeah, well, I mean, and then someone put their arms around me, and I could feel somebody squeezing me, and then I thought I heard somebody say, "Don't move," like that. But then eventually I moved and woke up and it all disappeared. And a lot of that stuff is characteristic, they say, of sleep paralysis. The feeling of pressure on your chest, that you can't move, the feeling that there's somebody in the room with you. And it's all brain chemistry. It's going to all be explained.
It's very real, though. It feels very real,
but it's super real. It feels totally real.
I had a double whammy, but sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. No.
Well, I was in a hotel with my wife, San Ysidro Ranch. And then I had the thing where I'm about to wake up and something is, or I think I'm awake, but and it's pressure on me.
Yeah.
Where the word nightmare comes from is a feeling
That's right.
of a horse laying on you.
Right.
So then I woke up and said, okay, that's a waking dream state, or I must have been in between, So I use the bathroom. So I go back to bed, and I'm a little shooken up from it. So I'm completely wide awake. At that point, I processed it. I woke up, and then it came again, except with more force. Yeah. So I woke my wife up and I said, we got to leave. And we did. And there was a lightning storm outside and a dead skunk on the freeway with a kind of a way. The whole thing was a fucking nightmare.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, but that's a big feature of it is the pressure on your chest thing. And it's like, why it does that, I don't know. But certainly that's a thing that a lot of people say the alien abduction thing could be sleep paralysis.
Well, what about white noise?
What about white noise? You mean like...
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't know what white noise was, but then there was this boombox in my son's room. He got a little spooked about his room, so he moved in with his little brother. So the room was empty, but there's a boombox in there, and it's not on, but it's 2 a.m., and I hear it as if it's on between channels.
Oh, really?
Right. So I go, what the hell? Can anyone hear this? So I go in there, and by the time I get to the room, it stops. But all the way there, it was...
Wow, I've never heard of that. I've never heard that kind of thing. But there is a thing...
Terrifying.
It's called like electronic voice phenomenon, I think, EVP, which is that people think that when you have it like sort of between stations, or if you find the right frequency, you'll hear ghosts talking. People pick up these voices. Exactly. Or aliens and stuff like that. And so there's a whole thing with people study that stuff.
It's amazing. I've been at dinner parties and play this game of, as anyone, I turn to someone, have you ever had a supernatural experience besides meeting me? That's the joke. But everyone, or an extraordinary experience. But everyone has something. There was that one night, that's why your podcast, Chin Wag, should be a smash.
I think it's just Chinwag, right?
It sounds like a Chinese restaurant, but my point is...
it's not. The name might not be the greatest thing, but it's what we picked and they went with it and they liked it.
Chinwag instead of...
I was like...
It's all we could clear.
What else. I think maybe it was all they could
I have a question for Dana. Dana, quickly.
Okay.
When you say...
Paul's our guest.
No, I want to hear more from you.
What do you got?
It's just what you just briefly ran over was Is the term nightmare meaning a mare laying on you?
Yeah, a horse. Yeah, that's where it
horse,
came from.
yeah.
I've never heard that.
The night horse, the horse that kind of comes in and takes you away, sort of. Yeah,
it feels like a heavy. It wants to hold you down, and you can't push on it. The second time, it was
I love it.
pushing harder. And then some people are spiritual, like these are trapped souls, and they're actually sort of disoriented themselves, and they want to take your life and your body over. So they're just trying to get
into your body.
And there's no way they were successful.
I have a Paul one. I have a Paul question, Dana. Don't get mad. This one's for Paul. Okay, so
I like when Paul talks.
When I have my dreams that are scary, I will hear someone in my room say something to me, and I wake up to look, and I realize it's so scary and real. They'll say my name or something will talk, and I'll get up, and I must have just dreamed it.
Yeah.
And it seemed real, and it
or something. I don't know. Or because again, that's the weird. You can hear things with sleep paralysis too. So I don't know. Maybe it's kind of that thing. I'm
just trying to get in the club with you guys. I think.
No. Listen, that's weird, super. One of the other ghost things I had was hearing voices in a room.
Yeah.
Where somebody had told me you can hear voices in this room, and I used to. It was a relative of mine's house, and I used to sleep in this bedroom just because I was like, I want to experience this, and it never happened. And then finally it did. One night it woke me up because I heard a voice, and it woke me up. Then it wasn't going, and I thought, I was imagining it or something. And then I would hear it was two voices talking to each other.
I had that on the road in Wisconsin, Dana. I think I told you I did this gig, and I was selling out all these shows. That isn't even part of the story.
That's good to know, though. That's very good to know.
How big were the rooms we were selling?
It was
how many
a couple
tickets?
2,800 seaters. And
a lot of comps or hard tickets.
But after the shows, when I was wiped out from doing encores, I go home.
You're tired.
And everyone, I'm walking through the lobby like, you're so brilliant, blah, blah, blah. You're so famous, whatever. And,
so you're exhausted, but exhilarated.
Talk about supernatural. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got carpal tunnel from signing Funkos. So anyway, I go in, and they go, and then Bobby got on the road with me. Goes, this hotel's haunted, and I go, it's a pretty nice hotel. It's huge, and I said, oh no, don't tell me that. That scares me, and we're here for 3 nights, and then they have a company line. That's how haunted it is. They go, are you guys haunted? And the waitress goes, we serve spirits in the bar. And I go, shut the fuck up. Are you guys haunted? You not get the question? But they're not allowed to tell you. So
really?
Everyone dodges it. And everyone's like, people have said things, but it's not. I mean, we can't, because it scares people.
It does. But I think it'd probably be a selling point too for some people. I mean, but probably not enough people.
I was afraid of it, but now I'm more fascinated. Have you guys ever seen a ghost? Because I have.
No, I've never seen one. And I don't know that I buy that. The whole the lady in green with the bloody head walking down the hall. I don't know that I buy that. Yeah, I challenge that. I draw the line at that. I don't really know that I buy that.
This 10-year-old girl in a night dress a few times, because it was the same house, 1912 it was built, would come through the wall and just walk down the center of the bed.
You've seen that?
White. Yes. And then
you saw that?
Yes. But
you saw the 10-year-old girl in white walking through the
coming down the center of the bed. And then I told my wife, what are you doing? No kidding. But I did see that. And
this was a thing other people had seen.
No, and it's all in that same house, in that same area. No one's seen anything. I'm a bad ghost story.
My friend said
I
his
don't
wife
have collaboration.
saw a ghost. It looked like a young waitress leaving the house right when she got home, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's haunted." Did you saw her too? Young pretty waitress. She just took off.
Sure.
We got to move, honey. This is terrifying.
No, I love this. Are there movies that terrified you, like The Exorcist or whatever, that are scary?
Yeah, The Exorcist is scary. The Shining always scared me when I was a kid. The Shining was a scary one. The first movie I can ever remember seeing was a movie. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, Carnival of Souls. Are you big movie buff guys?
Well, I am, I would say, but I haven't seen Carnival of Souls.
Oh, you should check it out. It's really, it's got to be the early 60s, I think.
Blood Farmers.
Black and white. Blood Farmer's a good movie.
Sickening. That
I
kept me
watched
up.
Logan's Run last night, so that's where I'm. You know,
Oh, did they remake that? Or were they talking about remaking Logan's Run?
they might, yeah. That was mid 70s, I
Was
think.
yeah,
Farrah
that's
Fawcett?
a great one. Farrah Fawcett.
That's
She
right.
gets
Farrah
killed.
Fawcett.
It
Oh,
was
It's
yeah.
off
scary.
pretty early
gets-
on. Doesn't like a
She's
thing
bloody
hit her in the
and
head?
dying. Farrah
Highly.
Fawcett.
Yeah, but that's
Michael
a-
York.
Yeah,
who-
absolutely.
great
But that
actor.
wasn't
That's a great
scary,
movie.
was it? It wasn't supposed to
No,
be
no,
scary.
that was just sci-fi. I mean, scary ones. I mean, The Shining, I think, is
What about
of
like
course,
The Conjuring? Are those? I haven't seen one.
those modern ones are more horror shock. There's
Yeah, and
It's-
they're okay. Some of them. Did
Kubrick's
you
was
see,
atmospheric. Go ahead.
Or
yeah.
gore.
Did you see this movie Barbarian
Fuck
that
no.
just came out like a
Recent?
year
No.
ago?
Is it a
Yeah,
real
you should
real
see it.
horror film?
No
Yeah,
chance.
it's really good. It's
Okay.
really good. Yeah, it's really good.
I
A
get
real
scared too
scary
easily.
film.
Do you not? So you don't see them. You get really freaked out by them.
I do. I don't like those as much as I love smart science fiction. Like I loved
Uh-huh.
Alien. You know,
Yeah,
obviously 2001. I love smart science
Yeah.
fiction.
I do too. I like science fiction like that too. It's
Yeah,
good
and it
stuff.
could be a little scary, but still
Yes.
fascinating.
Did you just see a movie called Edge of? Is it called Edge of Tomorrow with Tom
Yes.
Cruise?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's a good one.
I've
yeah,
seen
that
it
was a really
twice.
good one. The guy just kept repeating
Kept
everything
dying
over and over
going
again.
back in.
Yeah,
and
that
trying
was
to get
great.
Farther. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
At
that.
this point, I'll see anything with Tom Cruise. I mean, he's won me
Will you?
over. Well, he'll jump out of a plane. He'll fly. I mean, he'll go to the moon.
I love it.
mean-
He's going to go into space, isn't he?
I know,
think he's.
so-
I
no.
think he's going to go into space.
I just have such
Me too.
a more appreciation for him as he's gone on.
Me too.
Top Gun was brilliant. I mean, it was
Brilliant.
amazing film. Saw it 3 times.
Brilliant.
The type of film that you can't not engage.
How do you not enjoy that?
And so
Yeah,
at
I
this
agree.
point, he's like the last movie star, they say, or whatever you want to call him. He's got his own lane. And now I'm just have such an appreciation for him.
Me too. But I
So-
always liked him. I always thought he was.
Oh,
a really good-
Risky Business, which I read.
Yeah.
I read for Risky Business
for which for that part.
for that part. Yeah.
Oh wow! What a different.
When
wow,
did
that
you
would've been
find
a-
out? When
Yeah,
you
and I
found out when
nailed,
it
I
came
did
nailed
out?
the audition.
Yeah,
and
how
then
did-
he passed me on the way in. I go,
Really?
I said, top that, motherfucker. No, I just.
Did you? At that
No.
point, he was a known guy because
No.
he'd done. He's done the
Outside.
thing where
He'd done the machine gun.
The machine gunning out the window
with,
thing.
with Sean
It's
Penn.
beautiful.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so great.
It's so
Taps.
It's
beautiful.
so beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Taps.
Taps. That's
No,
a good movie.
I read for it,
Yeah.
but I don't think I got close to it. I had a problem. Is what would you call it? Bad actor
Syndrome.
It's a bit of a problem.
It could- yeah, it's
not
tough.
being
You
able
can
to
come-
act. It's
You can-
trouble.
yeah,
But
yeah, there's
I
something you can do about that. You
I-
can certainly get over that.
I need a
eventually.
teacher, and we could do it over Zoom because I think you could teach me.
Paul is known as a great
tested
actor.
for Amadeus. I tested for Amadeus
Wow.
because I had a baby face and blonde hair.
Yeah, you would have been great in that.
I know. Tom Hulce was okay.
Yeah,
Didn't he
was
win the
okay.
Oscar?
Did he?
He was-
I don't know. He was
My
okay. You
mom's
would have been
favorite
great
movie.
in that though.
No,
That's a
I don't
good
know.
movie. I saw that again not too long ago. That
Which
was a
one?
great movie. Amadeus.
Yes, that's
Paul, do you go
the-
for mostly people in the 1700s?
Yes, I strictly.
I feel like you
only-
could play
that's
anyone
my-
in the 1700s.
That's my bailiwick. Is people in the 1700s. That's
Here-
my
you could
wheelhouse.
play
Here's the
Ben
thing, just to
Franklin,
bring
John
people-
Hancock.
bring
People
that
are
up.
old- yeah.
He goes from Big Fat Liar, which was just huge for my kids,
Huge.
where you're
Oh, good.
the blue, the orange guy. I mean, just gigantic. And then he plays John Adams in a miniseries at HBO and wins like 20 awards. I don't know how many awards.
Yeah, I don't know if that was troubling for people that I was the blue guy and then I was John Adams. I don't know. It probably was troubling.
I
for
think
some
it's
people.
called Range, isn't it?
Okay, that would be a nice way of
The
putting
good
it.
thing about
Hey.
John Adams is no one knows
Paul
if you're
Giamatti,
playing.
he could never play John Adams. Oh, yeah? Fuck
Okay,
face.
There
Watch.
you go.
Watch
There
They
you
me.
go.
say, "Are you playing him well?" And you go, "This is exactly how he was."
Exactly. That was a good one because nobody knows what he's like. They having to play Washington was much more probably. I mean, the guy was great. David Morse was great, and Ben Franklin, the people that everybody knows. But yeah, I didn't have to live. I could just make it up. I mean, nobody really knows nobody knows much about him.
But tell me how you prepped for that, or when you got it, was like, oh, I'm playing John Adams. Was it a big get? Did Tom Cruise read for it?
I don't know. That would have been amazing. You should have read for it. You would have been great as something in that. Both of you would have been great as something. in
Thank
that.
you.
Well, if you
Well,
ever
Jeffrey
direct
did it.
anything, put us in there.
I will. If I do a 1700s thing, I'm definitely going to have you guys.
Hello.
do
Well,
it.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about
I already
technique,
blew
because
it.
I always feel like comedians are good when they're discovering it. If you look at Larry David, Larry David's like, okay, you'll do this. And Gary Shandling did that too. We'll say something like this, like that. And there's 3 cameras. And then you just do the take and you kind of know your lines. You don't really have lines. So it seems like great actors, trained actors can do all the angles, repeat everything. But do you have a technique for yourself? Like, I'm going to save it for the close up or whatever you do in the wide shot in the morning. You got to match it all day. I mean,
I suppose
it's hard
sometimes
to do.
Yeah, it is hard to do. But I mean, I guess sometimes I've gotten more into sometimes I save the energy if I'm tired or something like that. But I don't generally do anything all that different from thing to thing. I mean, I don't really do it, which may account for sometimes my extra hammy acting. But it's like, but I don't really think of it that way. No, I still kind of, because I used to act on stage a lot, I still sort of think of it like I'm on stage, which is probably not the greatest way to act on film, but I sort of do. I mean, it's like if I'm off camera, I'm still doing it. I mean, I like doing it.
You give it 100% off camera? Don't you lie.
I mean, because
lie.
No, I do. And
I would never do off camera.
I give it 45%.
Do you guys not? Do you just
Garth never. Hey, Garth doesn't do fucking off camera.
No, have you worked with the guys who don't do off camera stuff?
Yeah,
I know. I'd always do off camera. That seems amazing to just walk to your trailer.
I've had it where they have I've had their stand-in read.
Yeah, I've had it too. I've had it where they
I don't even know if I'm allowed to complain. I just know it's a little disrespectful, but some people, whatever's going on or they're burned out, I go, I'll give it to them. I said, you can. Sometimes I go, you can get out of here. Some of them, you don't need much to do your side,
or whatever. I mean, I know people who don't want to look at you when you're off camera. Some people who kind of prefer not really looking at something. They get distracted by something off camera when I do
movies with Daniel Day-Lewis. We laugh about this.
Danny and I talked about it too. You talked to Danny about that?
Yeah, DDL is usually saying stuff like
Paulford Giamatti.
You know what he says to me? Just say how to say it. Just tell me how to say it.
Right. He just needs a line reading.
He goes, I'm not getting it. I can tell from your face. So just tell me one and I'll just say it and we'll get out of here.
What am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
What I want to ask you, Paul, because I think you're a great actor. So now we can dig into that a little bit. Okay. Like I asked Joe Pesci, I go, Joe Pesci, how do you know the scene is great? Or how do you do it? You go, and he goes, you just lock in. You lock in. That's what you do. So I wonder, because if you're a smart person and you're over redundant thinker about life and absorbing and sensitive person, and then you got to focus into this thing where you're so loose, it seems to me great actors kind of aren't acting when they're in the pocket, when they're...
I suppose so, yeah.
There's a great take and you realize there was no judgment. The voice wasn't saying, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I always wonder, is that actually the best take? Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes if you think it was, or you felt like it was, I wonder if it actually was, I mean, you can't really know in some ways. I don't know. Somebody like him though, I mean, has he ever not been in this? I mean, has he ever not been in the sweet spot all the time? Yeah. I mean, that guy lives in the sweet spot. It's like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, and some guys, like, I don't know, does he need to do a lot of preparation and shit? I mean, it's like, it's not that he's playing himself. It's just that it's constantly a guy like that. I see like Jeff Goldblum. I'm like, when did you flip the switch and it just turned on Jeff Goldblum and
he's
just
Jeff Goldblum and everything.
Yeah. It just endlessly flows out of you. And it's endlessly interesting too. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're always in the zone and it's not like they're repeating themselves in some way because they're always great. They're always, and then DDL has to prepare for 3 years to become somebody completely different. I don't know. They're both.
He kind of lost me when he said, which I love, Daniel Day-Lewis, but Sally Field goes, he was so into Lincoln, he would text me as Lincoln. I'm like, well, I don't know if that sort of ruins it a little bit.
That doesn't really, that doesn't add up. Yeah.
He had a flip phone. He couldn't text.
I have a bit of a competition.
Morse code.
I have a competition. I think he was doing. I think he. Like Brando would do it too, or Nicolas Cage. You'll do a subtle impression. So I think Daniel Day-Lewis was doing a John Huston was who he was doing throughout. Right. There Will Be Blood.
Right.
It's not that I should win. It's that everyone else should lose. I'm John Huston. Cut. Yes. Daniel, no, you're not. You're not John Huston. I think I am John Huston.
I think that's a good. I think
there's something to that.
I think there is something to that. You find a funny voice. You find
what do you want?
you find a funny voice that's endlessly interesting.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. I was doing this goofy movie with him, and he was just thought acting shouldn't have to be real. It should be surreal if it wants to be. He goes,
I agree with that.
In this next take, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do Daniel Day-Lewis, and in the name of the Father. And so he came in. He plopped to his knees and started crying. He was doing a scene from a different movie, not telling the director, cut, brilliant, print.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, brilliant. Did he really do that?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. What was the movie you did with Nicolas Cage?
It's not as big as
Trapped
your
in
movie,
Paradise?
Trapped in Paradise. Me, love it. Yeah, there was no script and no real direction. We wandered around in the snow for a few months and they put it together.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I did Mickey Rourke.
I'm much. That's always a good choice.
I did Mickey Rourke in the movie.
Did you?
I don't know what you're doing. Well, I don't know what you're doing, but you guys should stop doing it. Watch the movie. It didn't work. The studio was mad. Anyway, back to you, Paul. What were you saying?
I think he's a great actor, Mickey Rourke, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mickey Rourke's a great actor.
Do you ever watch Body Heat?
Is he in Body Heat?
Yeah, he comes in. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Yes. He's great in Body Heat.
And he's great. He got the music on and everything.
He's great in Body Heat. Yeah, he's a great actor.
That's William Hurt and Kathleen
William
Turner,
Hurt.
maybe?
Yep, that's right. William and Ted Danson. Ted Danson's in that movie quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and he's dancing in the movie.
Yes, yeah.
That's the movie I'll watch every couple of years.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time. I should watch it.
Let me ask you a question because you've been in all these movies, all these great actors. So have you ever been in a scene with someone and then you just think to yourself, damn, they're good, like really good?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. No, I
did you do a movie with David?
I have yet to do
Not
that.
yet.
Believe
Not
me,
yet.
it's gonna knock my socks off. I know it will.
I'm saving it. You're not seeing it here. You'll see it.
Okay, very good. Yeah, all the time. I mean, that happens all the time.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe was like that. It's like crazy, and he's great. He's really great to work with. He's awesome. And he was like that. And Helen Mirren, I was like, how the fuck? Wow, how the fuck are you doing any of this? It's amazing. And all kinds of people. Yeah, but Russell Crowe actually was a good one. He was totally like that.
All the time. Cinderella
Man. I worked with William Hurt.
You did William Hurt?
Okay, yeah, he was amazing.
Oh,
he was amazing.
Yeah. What about amazing. You did Man on the Moon? How was Carrey on that? I love Jim Carrey. Was he? Because I heard stories about that movie, but was it interesting?
Have you guys ever done anything with somebody who's doing that sort of like I'm in the character all the time thing?
A little bit. I think Sean Penn, it was a movie called Racing with the Moon, wanted to be referred to as character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My part was cut out of the movie, but I had a scene with Sean Penn in a hospital. Yeah, I was a crazy man. Yeah.
You were a lunatic in the hospital?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Richard Benjamin called me at home and said, "We love what you did, but we have to cut it out." He was so sweet to do that. So
that's it. I worked with him. I did a movie. I did a Disney family TV movie that he directed, where I played a wacky Civil War ghost. It was great. It was one of my favorite things I've ever done. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. He was great.
Oh, Dickie Benjamin is the best.
I was blown away to be working with Dickie Benjamin. I was like, that's amazing. Wait a minute. What'd you ask me?
Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. Oh, it was it was challenging. It was not easy. He was great, but it was tricky. Because it was sometimes hard to just kind of fit yourself around what he was doing, being in the thing all the time. And it was tricky. It was amazing. And they made a documentary because he filmed all this stuff off camera. Mm-hmm. And it was like, what was going on off camera was more insane than the actual movie. And I think the idea was to make some kind of movie out of that, which eventually he made this documentary about it. But it was like,
so it's Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman, who's playing Tony Clifton?
Tony Clifton, yeah. So it was like, he was whenever he was Tony Clifton, it was particularly mayhem off the set because he was just fucking, he was.
So you yell cut, and he's still in character, and the character of Tony Clifton is loud, obnoxious,
belligerent fucking asshole who's just lunatic.
Yeah, what's your fucking problem? So he was browbeating.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, browbeating everybody, and he was
Mhm.
walking around with fucking stinky cheese in his pockets, and he was smearing stinky cheese on people. When he'd hug you, he'd be like, give me a hug, give me a hug, and he would like, he's stinking and
Who pushed
weird
back
shit.
the hardest? Who said, "Get the fuck off me"? Who put?
I don't know that anybody did. That was the thing, is that it was such a fucking weird assault that I think people you were so kind of stunned, deer in the headlights, that you couldn't really tell him to fuck off. We're just like, okay, I'll give you a hug. Nobody really told him to fuck off, because it was just sort of, it just occupied the whole fucking room whenever he was doing it, especially that character.
And then sometimes he's Andy Kaufman, who, if people don't know, is just sort of quiet, more demure, right?
Yeah, that was a more manageable thing. He did that. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was fun. It was challenging, but it was
got talked about.
Yeah, for sure, it did. Yeah, and sometimes you wonder, like, guys do that, and is it just building a kind of mystique around what you're doing? Is it like, does it make you more mysterious and more interesting sometimes if you do that? I don't.
Yeah, does it feel?
It works for them.
Yeah, I remember Robin Williams telling me that the real Andy Kaufman at a given point would wear his wrestling outfit. You could tell he was wearing it underneath his clothes,
right?
Just hanging out, walking around,
hanging out.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was amazing. The stuff he did was really amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant.
Really brilliant.
Anti-comedy. It's worked on a lot of crazy levels.
Yeah. And I remember realizing, watching so much of that stuff with him. And I was like, he does the shit that you do alone in your room that you would never do in front of anybody else. He does that in front of other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Mighty Mouse thing and shit. I'm like, or just like, I'm just going to read fucking Great Gatsby endlessly. And it's like the thing you just aren't gonna do, he just would do. It was like the thing that's gonna not work, that's gonna bomb or not be funny.
It's the word performance art in a way more than comedy when you're kind of
I would say that, because you're not eliciting big laughs all the time. You're getting people that are like really love it, and then the people that don't go, I'm waiting for the payoff and it's not there sometimes.
Yeah.
I did sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I did a Showtime special. I was really bad. It was in the early 80s. I got a 2-minute spot on it. It was just and Andy was on there, and I was outside, and they go, so Andy's still on. He'd brought a washer and dryer on the stage, and he just did his laundry. He did his laundry. Oh, I said, when do we go for the good nights? He goes, he's on the dry cycle. He's got 7 more minutes. I go,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And nobody really does anything like that anymore. I mean, nobody does stuff like that that's calculated. I mean, if somebody does something like that, it's going to be more, the jokes they're telling are going to be off color.
Even Norm Macdonald, who is a little off-brand, there's payoffs and there's this and that, or it's a put on, but it's not like that wrestling thing where you're waiting years for the payoff.
This is not funny. Yeah, I mean, it's genuinely not funny. Yeah. It's like, but which is just amazing.
And you think there's going to be a big thing at the end where you go, oh, he did all this because blank.
Right, exactly. Really nothing. Yeah.
I do think he really got off on the theatrical idea that he's insulting the audience. They're in the South. They're at a big with the ring and go, you guys are a bunch of hayseed idiot, and they go boo. They take him so seriously. I think somehow he must have enjoyed that part of it.
No, definitely. There was some kind of really aggressive element to it. I guess what's his name? Borat.
Borat did that guy.
You know, he does that kind of thing too.
Sasha. Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'd say he's probably closer to that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Because he did that down there, and he'd fight, and he got naked or something. And,
I don't like it. I'm not my wheelhouse to come from cruelty.
Too aggressive, too like kind of aggressive, and putting people in a bad position.
These frat boys in a camper, and they're drinking, and you sort of humiliate them, and it affects their life, stuff like that. But
I have an offshoot question.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about Sideways as per your deal.
No, but that's interesting. The humiliation thing is interesting to me, Paul. But I want to talk about that too, just because I think that's interesting. Because I don't like it.
Let's talk about it.
But I also feel like a lot of comics. I don't go see a. Sorry, I do want to hear what your question.
No, we'll go to Sideways, but I want to hear the.
Yeah, but I was like, I also don't love. I'm not a stand-up guy, and I've never done it, and I never would have the balls to do it, and I don't even go see it that much. But I went not too long ago to watch a bunch of people do it. And so much of the humor was just self-humiliation. It was too much self-humiliation. It was all just like, I'm disgusting. Nobody wants to fuck me. Nobody wants to. And I just kind of actually didn't find it funny after a while.
Was that my
A
show?
lot of it was just this really kind of like relentlessly like self-whipping kind of humor. A lot of it was like that.
Yeah, social media begat kind of exposing everything. And then the idea, the comedian's up there and like, I was masturbating in front of my cat today. He's got his elbow on the mic stand, and self-flagellation and self-criticism and honesty. And I'm so depressed and I have so much anxiety and I can't get laid. Yeah.
Which to a certain extent is fine. But then when it's just the whole thing, and it was like one person after another like this. And I just,
part of it, Paul, might be that there is sort of wave of that. And there's a wave of less targets out there because of cancellation. So
they become the target.
That's interesting.
I've even made fun of myself, but I always have just a little bit. Now,
yeah,
I don't
you do, but it doesn't
overdo
feel like the same thing. It doesn't feel the same. No,
but I go after
because
stuff,
it's funny every
stop
time.
in, but I don't make it my whole theme of like I'm the biggest fucking loser in the world, and I have a lot of problems. I take a lot of pills. Like I get kind of what you're saying, but I know that targets are going away. And people say, "Oh, they shouldn't," and you can do whatever you want, but you really can't. You can do some of it, and if you have a bit, it has to be so bulletproof from every angle where you can't get in trouble for it. If it's a risky bit, if it's race, if it's this, if that, you better be careful because you're gonna get somebody mad, and if they get mad and they make a stink about it, then you're suddenly backpedaling, and you're like, it's just comedy, but that doesn't always get you out of it.
Yeah.
My goal maybe would be similar if you went into stand-up, Paul, was that, and I'll go back to this all the time, because being in the Volkswagen Bug, maybe your friends are a little stoned, and I'm doing an impression of the water polo coach, and I'm doing it redundantly and exaggerating it, winding it, and they're helpless. So that still is where my favorite place to get with an audience is. I'm going to do Fauci for 10 minutes, and I'm going to go further and further. We gave you the boosters, but they didn't work. So that the rhythm of the language, the silliness of the exaggeration becomes this stew of laughter. So that's always the goal for me. So I don't have to worry about cancel culture.
But I do love I love something you do, which is just the little like one line, one gesture impersonation is really funny. The sort of like, like Michael Caine with his coloring book or whatever. Right. I can't.
Oh my God. You know about that? Well, that was just out of boredom. I thought I'll do micro impressions. Like I would do the great Sean Connery. I go, this is late great Sean Connery gets back as asked whether he enjoyed his vacation in Spain.
Right.
Yes.
That's it.
See, that just endlessly. That does it for me.
Christopher Walken sees an amazing magic trick. Wow.
See, that does it for me. That's good for me.
And then Michael Caine in kindergarten. I'd like to eat paste. I don't know why, but I'd like to eat things in the classroom. So I don't know what you call it, but
in the classroom.
The text is one thing, but then the musicality of the rhythms. To distill them to just one sound is fun for me.
Something in your brain, in the listener's brain that you can't stop.
There's some sort of thing that the fact that you heard that bit. Anyway, let's go to Sideways. Sideways is a movie that I visit regularly. My wife and I saw it within the last year, and we think it's just a very special movie. Your character in that is so. I don't know. It's heartbreaking and hysterical. And your co-star,
Tom Church. Thomas Hayden Church. Yeah.
Hayden Church. You guys were so great together.
He's really funny. He's a really funny guy.
I think people know guys like that. And I do know a guy like that. And you were put in this weird position of being with him and you're also depressed. And he's living the high life and he's about to be married and he's doing all the shit you wouldn't do.
Right.
And I love my carefree friends that have no worries or any conscience about anything.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like a stiff because you sort of think a little more straight. Not totally, but you go, really? Like you're totally cool with all this shit you're doing?
Yes. Well, but that's the thing that I think is kind of interesting about that movie is that in a way, though, he's almost more fucked up than the guy I play. And in a way, he's almost in the darker, more fucked up place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Than even the guy I'm playing, which I always think is interesting in that movie, that you really kind of suddenly see this moment of
he's
going,
brighter about it, but he's covering it because it's like, hey, we're having a great time. Why can't you be fun?
He's going to go get married and live in that house with the father who's going to be an asshole.
Yeah.
And go and just kind of cut himself up and like, it's kind of depressing. And actually, my guy in the end, he's got possibilities in his life and stuff. So it's interesting the way it switches around.
He's more real. Yeah, the desperate to have. We're gonna have so much fun. Like for people who haven't seen it, go see it. It's two guys go to the wine country, and one guy is shy and is brokenhearted, and his friend's trying to get him laid. And your scenes of the woman that you like are so funny and heartbreaking. Of trying to break. Who was the actress?
I'm glad you like it.
Virginia Madsen.
Virginia Madsen.
Yes, you were. Oh, that was such a great pairing. And
she's great in it. Everybody, the script was really great. It's one of those.
The gentleman who did that also did Descendants, right? So this
he did. He did the Descendants. He did Election. He did
Nebraska.
About Schmidt. He did Alexander Payne.
Yeah. He's brilliant because Descendants is another brilliant film.
That's a great movie. I actually think that's his best movie. I really liked it.
I've seen that at least 5 times. I think George Clooney at the end saying goodbye to his wife is one of the best pieces of acting I've ever seen.
I agree. I think he's really great in that movie.
Yeah.
I did another movie with that guy that comes out in the fall with Alexander Payne, a movie called The Holdovers that comes out in the fall. Yeah.
And what's it? What's the?
It's about a kid who gets it's about, what's that?
Log line, please.
Log line. I'm trying to think. It's about a kid at a prep school, at a boarding school in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he gets, for Christmas vacation, he's the only kid who doesn't have anywhere to go on Christmas vacation. He has to stay at the school because his parents neglect him and don't care.
Okay.
And so the only people at the school are the woman who runs the cafeteria and the guy, the faculty member who's been assigned to look after the kid, who's this fucking ass that nobody can stand. And that's the guy I play.
How old are you playing as this kid?
It's about the kid. The kid is
I thought you were playing the kid.
13.
No,
he's playing
I'm playing the teacher, the history teacher who has to look after the kid. And that's what it's about. And it's a nice movie.
Are you passive aggressive toward him or overtly mean? Or
no, I'm aggressive towards him. I'm aggressive towards him. Yeah, he's kind of a passive aggressive kid, and I'm aggressive towards
So do you just go for the comedy, or do you think like, why is this guy so damaged that he's just going to beat up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like the comedy's there kind of anyway because this guy's such a fuck up and so bizarre. And I have a weird physical thing that's really bizarre, and so it's I mean, I don't think I'm that funny. So it's like I just try to just play the thing as it's supposed to be. You know, it's like that's the only way I feel like I think
those well-written things, well-directed things, they know what they're doing, and
I think that's why you make me laugh. I mean, I don't laugh at comedies as much because I know how the rabbit gets out of the hat. It's very rare for me to get surprised. But when a dramatic actor,
I like that term. I do like that.
Yeah, we see they're doing that, but sometimes a movie will hit, like Tropic Thunder and stuff. There's one where you're kind of like, or The First Hangover, like, there's a bunch, but most of the time I go to dramas and I laugh harder at a drama. How much did Grown Ups 2 do domestic?
Dana,
was it under or over 200 million?
What? Let's look at a clip. What it was no.
What was the foreign box office? What'd you do overseas? Did it?
We did go overseas to do press, and one city, one country every night. Right. Yeah, really? You've probably done that junket. Yeah, it's kind of tough, but
do people in particular countries really take to those movies?
I don't
want
to say I'm huge in Bulgaria, but I can't step foot.
Adam has a big with Netflix, huge reach.
He does because of Netflix. So. It helps, but those. I think if they finally went on from TBS to Netflix, the grown-ups movies, but it's just fun. I bring those up. I don't know why. We can talk about Police Academy 4, but I also have.
Well, what about Billions? Has Billions made billions? That's my question.
I think it did do well for the network. I think it did. Yes.
Is it possible global syndication? It will.
Oh, sure. People love that all over the world. People love that show.
Paul, in fairness, I watched Billions, the first one yesterday, right? So I'm not caught up on all 900.
That's okay.
At least I wanted to know what this bullshit is all about. No offense. So I said,
That's
everyone,
so
I'm
cynical.
kidding.
What the bullshit is all about? No, I hear
No,
you.
I'm saying
Yeah,
I
totally.
hear
Hey,
only good
don't
things.
criticize my Chuck Rhodes.
No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
I only hear good things about Billions. So I go, I haven't seen it. I knew Malin Ackerman a little bit in the old days. So I said,
Sure.
let me just see this. And very cool, very gripping. And your wife at the end stepping on you. I go,
Right.
I'm in on all these different angles. So I really did
Good.
love it. No bullshit.
Good.
And it was just fun to see. And now I feel like I'm missing out because there's so much catching up.
There's so much catching up. That's why I have a hard time watching anything,
Yeah.
a series, even
If you miss at the
starting out
beginning.
one, knowing I'm going to have to stick with something makes it hard for me to even start something if it's new. But then having to go back and I just can't do it. I'm like, there's too much. I've never seen a lot of these. Like, I've never seen Breaking Bad. I've never seen some of these other
yeah,
things.
you miss it.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Too
I've
long.
never seen The Sopranos. I'd love to, but I'm like, I
Mhm.
can't. Fuck, it's just too much.
Well,
too much.
it's a 90-hour movie, basically. Or
Yeah,
100-hour
it's
movie.
like
That's
Yeah,
so
it's
true.
too much.
People
It's
are
too
like,
much.
yesterday I had the day off. I did 14 seasons of, Better
Yeah,
Call
I don't
Saul.
ca-
I go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that
I don't get
100
it.
hours? Or, yeah, knocked it out.
Yeah, I can't do that. I
You
can't
got to
do
see
that.
Ozarks, man. It's
got a
only
pizza.
75-hour movie.
It's too long.
It's
It's too long.
The great thing is it's like a big bookstore. Billions is on the shelf. It's
Uh-huh.
going to be available for human beings for a long, long
Yeah,
time.
hopefully.
It'll
Yeah,
always
yeah.
be there. And well, it's another one. I don't want to fawn, but it's another one that your character is so I don't know, rich. It's an intense
good. I'm
guy,
glad.
damaged.
Yeah.
He's so human, and his relationship. Maggie Siff and you have a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
she's great. Plays my wife. Yeah,
Just
she's
this,
great.
yeah, and it was so weird how close she was to the Damian Lewis character.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
the
weird.
grossest part
His
about it. I
character's
love it.
wife
Yeah,
is
it
really
just kinda
into.
gross. It is really gross.
That's
Yeah.
just-
No, it's like, yeah.
But
It's a lot
everything's
of
so
watch.
thought out
Go
because
ahead.
you go to that, to that, to that. And while you're seeing it play out, the big house.
Yeah, and
I
it
mean,
gets really,
we're
as it
going way
goes
back.
along, David, it gets really like the plots get really elaborate and it's all like double cross, triple cross, quadruple
Yeah.
cross. It just gets really, really elaborate. So it turns into that kind of thing.
Yeah,
which is
I didn't
fun.
know what that title. I just didn't know really exactly what it would be about. But the intricacies just sort of hooked me on stuff that I liked. So I sort of got into it. It
Excellent.
wasn't, some you watch and people fawn over them and you go, it just didn't click with me.
I have that. Yeah.
But
Oh yeah,
I kind of
Billions
clicked into
is
it
one.
and
Good.
thought,
I'm glad
shit,
you
I
liked
kind
it.
of am late.
Okay.
But
Well, the basic thing that they're following is that, well, you come from money, your character, and he's a district attorney in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it's really examining, is there this other game that billionaires are playing? Like, I always feel like I have a little bit of stocks, but I know there's other people trading and selling or
Sure,
entities
absolutely.
or BlackRock or
Yeah.
whatever that are just playing a different game. We know that the
Yeah.
AI has been
you
picking
just
their stuff.
follow them. You're just like, they're like,
And
you're
the cat and
yeah.
mouse game between
Yeah, the
you
cat and
and your
mouse thing
nemesis.
is interesting, and
Yeah.
kind of who's worse and stuff like that. Is
Yeah.
the billionaire worse than the politician? Is the politician worse? And
Yeah.
why do we worship these billionaires when really most of them are just assholes?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Right.
and why isn't the politician a better person than he?
Well, I'll
isn't-
ask you a question. Which billionaire and which politician would you like to have lunch with? I turned into Larry
my
King.
gosh.
I turned into Larry
That's really
King.
interesting.
David, you
Oh my
could.
God.
I'll say
Yeah,
Elon
David-
Musk.
Well, be
I would love to
Elon
ask
Musk
him.
for me because he does ketamine. He has
Yeah.
rocket ships and he's so.
I would say Elon Musk too because of the space stuff and the
Yeah.
sort of like the kind of wackiness of that stuff. Yeah, probably politician. That's a really I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's scary. I don't want to know too much. I don't want to know.
I don't
what
really
goes
want
on.
to. I don't know that I really want to spend a hell of a.
I'll be snuffed.
Yeah.
Well, currently Bobby Kennedy Jr. I know he's for a lot of people he's kind of out there, but
He
I
is.
find anyone who says, and my uncle
Was
JFK
killed, yeah,
and my
yeah.
dad. I mean Bobby. So then I just wanted
Yeah.
to hear. I just want to, and I also find him just very interesting because he's eccentric.
I would say I might like to overhear a meal he's having. I don't know if I want to have a meal with him, but I'd be definitely interested in hearing because it's
Astronaut.
it gets pretty exactly.
It sounds
gets pretty
weird.
wacky.
He's got to work on that
When I
ET
returned,
voice.
Mary
All right,
Jo
I
I
haven't,
and,
I haven't really heard him talk, but everybody says his voice
Oh,
is really
it's tough.
scratchy.
He
or
has
something.
He has
It's very tough.
dystonia,
I
which
feel
makes
bad.
his rigidity on his vocal cords. He's a very, very tight voice, but you get
He's
used
got
to
that
it.
thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
And is that like a psychosomatic thing? Is that like a psychological
I think dystonia
thing?
is a real. I have a brother who has it. Just that he has no control over his grip in one hand.
Interesting. And did he overstrain it or something? And then it happens? Or like, how's that happen? Because I knew a guy who had it.
I think it's a brain. Starts in the brain, but I'm not sure if there's a symbiotic
a nerve
relationship
thing
between. Or some reason you'd be predisposed, you know. I know a lot about science and medicine, so if you have any questions, no, I'm good. I'm good with corner.
Absolutely.
I'm good with
You should get on
stuff,
TikTok.
You know.
Okay, very good.
Wait, I have a question. I know. We got to let this guy go.
I don't ever
do
want
this. You'll be sad at the
interview
end of your
to end.
podcast.
I'm loving Paul. Can we hang out? Do you live in New York?
I do live in New York. Yes, I live in Brooklyn. Yeah, you live in New York?
No, but I go there all the time, and I know where Times Square is. But yeah, you're
very
so
good.
much.
We can meet in Times Square then.
We can meet at the Bennigans in Times Square. Your father, I have this question, Dana.
Here we go.
Because interestingly enough, when he was, I'm not reading this. Yes, I am. When he was commissioner, he is the one that banned Pete Rose, right? From betting. How interesting that he was there for 6 months.
I don't even know if he was there for that long. I mean, I think it was really brief.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And now these days when gambling is so much a part of it, it's hard to stop it. It's like a dam break.
I mean, it's like now it's
athletes
just like,
are getting caught for gambling, but they're sponsored by DraftKings.
Is that true? Is that I don't even know. Is that true? Now it's like gambling.
Wow.
They're like partners with NFL and stuff, but you're not allowed to.
Crazy.
It's just it's getting very muddy.
Super muddy. Super crazy. I know
Pete Rose is grinding his teeth.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. Because Pete Rose, that whole thing, because my grandma's from Cincinnati, so is my mom.
Oh, really?
So they were in love with him.
Sure.
The idea when you would bet on the game and then you would perform in a way to win money, that was the problem, right? You would bunt instead of going for a single or something.
If you bet on your own games, it's a problem.
Every time. I'm just going to
bunt. If you bet on your own game is different than betting on other games. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it goes back to the sort of scandal. The reason it's
Boston White Sox.
The White Sox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was they were paid by mobsters to throw the game. I mean, it was like, So I guess that's why it's was particularly like the worst thing.
Does any part of you miss mobsters in a way? Just something about a mobster. Hey.
That there are mobsters anymore?
I think they're mobsters, but they're well dressed and they're at 5 stars.
Yeah, I guess so. They're all like, I do
all around you.
I do a little bit. I kind of do miss that.
Have you played a mobster?
Guys. I've not really, no. And it's funny because I am Italian American.
Oh yeah.
And when I first got to New York, they would send me out on things just because you get you get to New York and you get an agent and they're like, you're Italian, we'll just send you on anything.
This is what you'd be good at.
Yeah. So I was constantly getting sent out for these things where I'd go in the waiting room and it was all these like 300-pound fucking guys from Staten Island.
Yeah.
Who were all the guys who were on Sopranos eventually. It was all these guys. And they're all just sitting around and they're all just like, and I'm like kind of sitting there just out of the Yale School of Drama. I'm like, yes, I'm from the Yale School of Drama. And they're all and I'm like, I'm never going to get these fucking parts.
Have you played that? Do they have you? Go ahead.
But I want it. And I would go in on things sometimes. I remember going in on a thing and it was for like a cop or something. And the woman kept saying to me, can you make it more Italian? Can you be more Italian? And I was like, I am Italian. And so I would keep doing it. And then I realized what she wanted was she wanted me to be like, all that kind of stuff. And so I did that, but I still
let me hear it. Let me hear it. You mean like a New York Italian guy, like that guy?
Yeah, well, that kind of like you want me to do, you want us to whack him, you want me to whack him for you, Tony, kind of shit, all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to get that. Can you talk like that
guy some more? Because I love that guy. Let me ask you a question. Hey, guy. Hey, rough voice.
All those kind of guys like this. I love that shit, but I'm not going to do that.
Hey, want to go?
You could play very intimidating.
I could maybe now play kind of the older guy who's sort of sitting around playing dominoes. He's got like the card table on the street who's playing.
Everyone
that
fears
kind of guy.
him.
He's like kind of the Don in retirement kind of guy. Like the older guy. Like maybe I could play. Yeah, that guy is kind of like my sausage and peppers. Where's my sausage and peppers?
It's a little bit of Regis Philbin creeping in there. Just a little, where's my sausage and pepper? I need it over here. Honest to God, it's the best sausage and pepper I ever had. Tom broke on it.
He would have been. He would have been
Push- put him
brilliant as a kind of Irish
Here's the
mobster.
Italian. If you
That
ever
would have
do
been
one
great.
again, you add the
Please.
no at the end. Because I had a friend who go, hey, hey, this is good pasta, no? Rather
that's
than
good. Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
good.
That's a
Hey,
good
it's
trick.
good pasta,
I knew a guy who would always say, you'd ask him something and you'd say like, hey, that's a really great car. He'd go, watch this. I got that car. He'd say, watch this before he said anything.
Yeah.
He would always say, watch this. He'd go like,
Watch
you'd say like,
this.
oh, this pizza's so good. He'd go, watch this. This is the best pizza I've ever had. He'd say, watch this every fucking time. He'd say, watch this.
I like
I
that
know a
little
guy.
handle.
When
brilliant.
instead it says a guy says or he says, he goes, he stands here. He stands here. What are you doing over there? And I said,
yeah. He stands here. He says, what the fuck is going on?
He stands here. What the
Right,
fuck's
yeah.
going on? I go,
Right.
I don't know what's
The
going on.
guy comes home, he stands here. He says, where's my
that's it.
where's my
He
shoes?
stands here.
Where's my fucking shoes? that kind of
all
thing.
those.
I
funny
did see
questions.
an Italian movie the other day, and it was like a low rent one. And I was like, I think I'm finally tired of like the beaten down Italian wife and the guy and the wife beater
I'm never
coming in
getting
going,
tired.
hey, Frankie, how'd you do in school? I'm like, is it the same shit over and over?
I'm tired. I'm with you. I'm kind of
Unreal.
tired of it.
It's
I'm tired
too
of the
much.
kind of like, what is shut? All the like,
Shut
I'm just kind of
You
tired
want
of it.
some of
I'm
this?
tired
You
of it
want
too.
some of this?
Yeah, totally.
The baby's crying.
Hey, Paul, would you ever like to do prosthetics and an accent?
I've done prosthetics.
Which
and
movie?
I like it.
Did you?
I did I did a Planet of the Apes movie where I was almost totally covered in prosthetics, and I was an orangutan.
I didn't want to,
I was an
I didn't want to
orangutan.
offend. They made you a fucking
I
orangutan.
probably
No, I was
saw
pissed
it.
off because I wanted to be a gorilla, and I was going to be an albino gorilla, and then they ditched that idea. I was going to have pink eyes, and I was going to be an
Ooh.
albino gorilla, and then they ditched that idea because it was too expensive.
This
to do
is
the
this
whole thing.
it's a good
Made
orangutan
me an
suit. No,
orangutan.
this is a good orangutan.
I
I
got
was an
pink eye
orangutan.
for free at a strip club.
Yeah,
You were an orangutan,
You know,
but you didn't get nominated
that's not
for
why
that.
we're
But
here.
so I did that, and actually in Man on the Moon, I did Tony
yeah.
Clifton briefly and one part of it. But I've done it in other things too. I wore a lot of them in John
But
Adams.
Gary
and-
Oldman and Churchill. What about you?
that would be great, but he was almost completely covered in that.
So
stuff.
John
Tough.
Adams had prosthetics on. What did
as
what
it
did
got older.
as
it
the old
got
aged?
older.
Aged. Okay.
Yeah, as it got older,
Yeah.
and I think I've done it in other things. I can't remember now, but I've done it.
Yeah.
I do like it. I really like it. I really like doing it.
Hey, watch this. He really likes doing it. You
Yeah,
know what I
watch
mean?
this. He
Watch
watch
this.
this. He likes to wear. Watch this. He's got a
This
funny
guy's
rubber
standing
nose on.
here
Now you got
Like
Trump
a horn.
coming in.
You wearing? Hey, watch this. You wearing a? Yeah, he's standing there with a
that's Trump.
fucking nose on. Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to do something. It'll never happen. I don't think that I'll ever play.
I'd love to do prosthetics and just be invisible, and then just get ready for my Oscar.
Right.
Just-
Right.
Hey,
Dial up the
if you
Oscar
just
right
put a
away.
nose on, you're halfway there. Or if
But
you
that
have
can actually just a nose can really make you look different. It's crazy.
Mhm.
yeah,
just
like
the nose.
Nicole Kidman for
Right. That's
Ashley
Virginia
Simpson.
Woolf.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. See how I know movies? You didn't think
That
I
was
know
amazing.
movies. You didn't think I know movies. I'm bringing up from Nicole fucking
The guy
Kidman over
standing
here.
here. Watch this. Virginia Woolf. Watch
How'd
this.
the
Virginia
podcast
Woolf.
go? You know, it was great. You know, he stands here. You know, Paul Giamatti, he stands here. He goes, you know,
He stands here.
he stands
That's
here.
a
It made
good
no
one.
sense.
What
but-
about Not for Nothing? That drives me crazy.
Not for nothing's a good one too.
Not for
Not for
Nothing.
nothing's a good one. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
for
All right,
Nothing's
let's
a
let
big
Paul go. He's been
Thanks, guys.
been very good to
Paul,
us.
It's a pleasure.
Chin Wag.
Yes, sir.
It's
Chin
a
Wag.
new
Thank
podcast.
you.
It's been out a couple months.
Thank you.
Hey, Chin
Yes.
Wag. That's a good show, no? Yes, it
Yes,
is.
yeah.
It's all about
Yeah, watch this.
supernatural ghosts. I'll just do this. It's somebody. You have this, I think, 30 Coins coming out on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, that's on HBO Max.
And
yeah.
you play eccentric, kooky, crazy
billionaire. I play a crazy cult leader
Oh.
billionaire. Yeah,
So all
I
your
a cult
parts
leader.
now have a billionaire in
Yeah,
it, either
probably,
you
yes.
or them, you know.
Yes.
And now
yes.
you've got Kerry Stoll. He's your new kind of billionaire, you know.
Yep. My
So 30
rival.
Coins on HBO Max. He's got
Right.
the podcast, Chinwag,
What
and of
about the
course,
movie about the
Billionaires.
school?
When does movie about
Billions
the
is on in August, I think.
August, okay.
The last season.
And
of
then
it.
the
right,
school
that's right. This movie,
holdover.
The Holdovers, is in the
Holdover,
fall.
Holdovers.
It's like
Okay.
Thanksgiving or something.
Let me
like
tell
that.
you
I'm not
something.
sure.
You got more
Yeah.
pots than a fucking
Not
auto
for nothing.
factory.
Not for nothing. The film is going to
Let me
show
tell you
in the
You got
fall.
more rolls than a bakery.
Sausage
You
and
got-
peppers.
Right. Watch this. Watch
Watch
this.
this.
Anyway,
All right, thanks,
pleasure,
Paul.
Paul.
Thanks,
Hope we didn't
guys. I
overtalk
really
too much.
appreciate it.
We
know.
enjoyed
No,
it.
it was awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a podcast presentation of Cadence 13. Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes. Available now for free wherever you get your podcast.
No joke, folks. Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13, executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment.
The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman with production and engineering support from Serena Regan and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.
Jesus Christ, what are you, the new Liberace? You know, put a new outfit on.
We're
David,
talking about
okay.
Spade.
Talking about Spade.
No, we're talking about...
What have you been drinking? Malux?
We're talking about Paul McCartney, the Paul McCartney.
Yes.
This is our big, exciting first musical guest I think we've had on the show from SNL.
Well, I'm a Beatle fanatic, and the fact that we got Paul, I'd sent him an email very casually, because I sort of know him, I guess, and just gently said, we'd love to have you. And then what happened next, David?
I think we heard the next day. He said, do we do it on the phone, or do we do it in person, or how do we do it? And so we did it within a week.
Well, okay, so from my side of it,
Okay.
wasn't so easy peasy. Hey, a lot of moving inputs. I was going on vacation. I was driving with my
that's
wife.
right.
My mother-in-law is Irish and stunning, and she's 91, and my son. And we're just driving through Wyoming, and we're just having fun on our way to Montana for a reunion type thing. And then our manager goes, McCartney can do it on Friday.
And they said, how's Friday for you, both of you? We both said, horrible.
It's absolutely, couldn't have picked the worst time.
Exactly.
I'm in the mountains. I can't even hear him. Friday, McCartney, beat, So then I'm not vacationing anymore. I'm like, so we're at this 3-star, because we don't like fancy pants places, in Jackson Hole. And the
where
Wi-Fi.
you can catch fish in the pool with your hand. Hey, I'm in Jackson Hole.
And then you just eat it. But the Wi-Fi sucked. And I'm trying to what am I going to ask Paul McCartney? And so I had to go up to the Four Seasons at Teton Village.
Cheap time.
And check into a room for the night. It was $1 million was the room. And so I went up there in a lightning storm. And then the next morning,
Jesus.
I'm at a little desk. I'm trying to get the laptop. We're going to Zoom in with Paul McCartney. I'm very kind of nervous. And then on the screen, I can see that David is having... You've flown to New York, and what's going on with you
I
at that
was
moment?
heading to Sold Out. I guess that's not really part of the story. Show
Your sold out show?
in
how many
in
seats?
Ohio. That's not the point. And I was going there, and I had to cancel my flight and do this, and then go late to the show, and hopefully I make it. And then my Wi-Fi didn't work in my hotel, and it dropped out. The 10 minutes while we're on screen with it, I dropped out from you twice. So I just said, if I drop out with Paul, go on without me.
Well, I just saw like technicians leaning in, guys with beards. There'd be a beard and then a rubber band and then more beard. They were just leaning into frame. You're just sitting there, and it's like, is he going to make it? Our producer, Greg, is on the line. No, we don't know. Paul's going to pop up any minute. I don't know if you're going to be on it. All of a sudden, we see Sir Paul McCartney in our frame. Ooh, hello, how you doing? So we spent a good hour talking to Paul McCartney, and
I didn't know if I could joke. I wanted to go, Paul, I'm kind of Dana's Yoko. I didn't, No,
I didn't either. That's the thing with famous people. You don't want to turn them off very early. So you're a little careful because you just want them to have a good time. We do get into what you Beatle fans love, and being one of them, is who wrote what when. We know there's Lennon McCartney every song, but who did what, where, when, how. And we do get into that with certain songs, and I realized that was really fun for Paul. And and they're lightning in a bottle. Lennon's a genius, but Paul did a lot with that band, and there was a period of time where he was the cute one and whatever. So,
and then I was going to say, do you think you would have spelled the Beatles correctly if you had spell check back then? I did not ask him that. I did. I do remember two things. One, I paid about 5 years ago $125,000 for front row to Paul McCartney at a Sean
wait,
Penn.
125,000?
Yeah, I mean that's a markup. I mean Ticketmaster's getting ridiculous.
It's getting insane.
No, I was at a benefit for, it's a whole story, but for Sean Penn for Haiti, and you bid on these things, and I sort of accidentally was being bullied to go higher anyway. But I went, met Paul, great. He came out with his guitar in that little tiny trailer and was singing and talking, gave me a drink. Hey, have fun out there. So I knew him a little bit from that, which doesn't really count. And I also, in the old days, I took Brittany Murphy to Paul McCartney. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Well,
I think it was a date. I don't know.
Paul and after I hung
what a
up
great
at Jackson,
front row, second row.
After I hung up at Jackson Hole, Paul called me and said, "Who was the other guy on the Zoom? Because he seemed a bit dodgy."
Me?
Yeah. I go, "That was David Spade." "Oh, David Spade? What is it?" No, I didn't. He didn't call me.
Engineer. No,
Engineer.
I'm
and
a
he went,
professional superstar.
and
Is
I
that
went,
what I am?
I went scuba dooba doo, and he went do 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 do, and I went do do do. So anyway, that's my Paul. That he did do. He'll do a little bit on this.
He was fun though. I have to say, he was fun.
Charming,
and I was
fun,
very
and funny.
nervous.
Yeah, a lot of quips.
A lot of quips.
But
you threw in some Lorne impressions, of course, right?
He did go, "You do a good Lorne."
Yeah.
You'll find Paul is he's just like a real person. It's like that thing of But Paul is he holds the mantle of the Beatles very classy with it.
Yep.
He doesn't. You can't help but gush, and I do gush
It's
a little
hard.
bit.
Yep.
I gush a lot. Sometimes
the
I
most-
compliment you too much, and you get a little red faced.
You've never one time.
What I say? You're the greatest.
Oh.
Who cares? Talk.
You're always saying I'm like a young McCartney. Now,
I'm like John Lennon, and I guess I don't know.
what was I going to say? Oh, Paul. Oh, he's one of the most famous people out there, right?
I would
is that
say
fair?
globally, he's right. Who's more famous?
I mean, there's Mick, there's Paul, there's a lot of people that are super famous, and he's definitely up there.
And the challenge of this for us as podcasters
Is getting to start the podcast? We're not doing it
is
yet.
just not yapping like we are now. It's just to ask the guests questions they might enjoy, ask them questions that they can't ask themselves. Paul can't rhetorically go, I did a lot with the Beatles. We can't bring that
The reason
up.
I'm a genius is because, so we have
Can
to
you believe
sort
how many songs I've got?
it's unreal.
But it is fun to set the table for him and give him his props. And I do think weirdly, Get Back did, and we talk about Get Back the documentary a lot. And I think it did couch Paul's place within the Beatles a little differently. So
All right, here
if
it
I were
is.
you, I would press play, and I would have forward passed this a long time ago. So if you're still listening, I don't know who you are, but the actual interview is more interesting than these talking heads.
Here's Paul. Is that him?
It could be. It's a sighting. I like your environment. That's so cool.
I live in a good environment.
That is a wonderful
God.
environment, Paul. You had a kitchen back
He
there?
is spending the money.
Let me go scouser for a second. Did you have a good brekkie, lad?
All right, yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, I'm just having my coffee. All right.
Instead of I'm having my coffee, you say me coffee. I love that. We're a little hyperbolic, just we're excited like anyone else would be,
Paul, please don't mention that I look like I slept on my face. Don't bring it up a lot because people are whispering
Yes.
already.
No, I think you look lovely.
I want
Thank you,
to
bud.
make you an offer, Paul, before we start, just an exchange. But your people sent me Flaming Pie in 1997. You sent 200 vinyls out framed, and I got one out of the blue, and I treasured. I love the album, love that, and I happen to be in possession that NBC gave me as a Beatles, Capital Beatles, Meet the Beatles, signed by all 4 Beatles. And there's only 16
Whoa.
in the world. I don't know if that's true, but I will give it to you. I will send it to you tomorrow if you want me to. Because you sent me Flaming Pie.
No, you can keep it, man. You can keep it.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Dana, you can send it to me if you want.
No,
Or I suggest you send it to Charlie Finnan.
he's an Irish lad.
Oh,
Finnan's Irish.
Yes.
He's a bit of an Irish. So Paul, where shall we start? There's
Where
so
did
much.
you meet Paul, Dana?
Where did I meet Paul? I met him at Lorne Michaels' house in Long Island in 1986. Can we say it? And I was out there. I'd gotten cast on the show. I was nobody from nowhere, and it freakily got cast on the show. And then I was hanging out at Lorne's house. Lorne's very intimidating when you don't know him. He's like, well, you will come out to Long Island and maybe you could take Jack's room. And I was Jack, and then it was always, it's where Jack Nicholson stays. So I was in Jack Nicholson's room, and then one day he goes, because he's friends with Paul Simon and our Paul McCartney, but he never tells you the last name. He goes, Paul's going to be coming by tonight. So he makes you ask. I go, Paul?
Yeah.
Which Paul? He goes, that would be Paul McCartney.
Uh-huh.
So
That
was when I met you and Linda at Lauren's house, and you guys would put the kids to bed and come over, and we would chat when you played us a new song that had never been released. That was very cool. We had a chat about tug of war.
What can I say to that?
I know. These aren't even questions. We're just going to talk for an hour.
We're narcissists, so we just talk about ourselves. We're not good at questions. But you just speak to how you met Lauren.
How I met Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Or when?
I'm not sure I can remember. I've been coming out to the Hamptons forever because Linda's dad had a house out here. So, so how did I meet Lauren? It might have been on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been out here. There's loads of answers. I could pick one and sound genuine.
Doesn't matter.
In actual fact, I'm not sure. It was either at SNL or out in the Hamptons.
Yeah, you'd have to meet him at the show, probably. That's where most people meet him. Did you have to audition to perform on the show?
Yeah. I did. I sent him a tape, and he was impressed, and he asked me to come to his house, and I stayed in Jack's room. It's great.
Did you find it haunted like I did?
Yeah.
I just kept hearing a voice. Hey. What's the matter? Not sleeping so well in your bed? But now Lauren has been such a big part of our podcast because we celebrate all things SNL, and then Lauren kept coming up naturally with all the guests we've had, and he's such an enigmatic, interesting human being, but also incredibly funny. And he's kind of like the further you get from the show, the more you appreciate the job that he's doing. And I don't know how they may do it without him. I really don't.
Yeah. No, I love Lauren. And like you, I've known him a long time, and he's become a friend, and not just the SNL guy, and so we can talk problems with each other and like friends do, and can sort things out. But I think he's very funny and very laid back. It always reminds me of Jack Benny.
Yes.
I see that.
I think he molds himself on Jack Benny.
That sort of slow motion relaxation.
The very sort of laconic thing.
Very deadpan delivery, yeah.
And he has wisdom. Yeah. He really is very good at taking a big subject and then putting it down to one sentence. Because I was at a low point in my career, as there were many, and I was having dinner with Lauren, and he just paused and he said, well, everyone knows who you are. It was just sort of like, everybody knows who you are. Like, don't forget.
It's a very good impression you do of him, by the way, Donna.
Oh, thank you. I've had time to hone it. I was shy about doing it for him for many, many years. And then finally I did it. And actually everyone does a Lauren at this point, which Lauren knows. And it's a great place to be. It's somebody who's very relaxed. Like you're about to do a sketch and you're terrified, and it's during the commercial break on 8H, and he would walk up and say, and he'd have a glass of Chardonnay, but he wouldn't drink it. He would just hold it to relax you. And he'd say, this sketch has to breathe. Yeah. And that was it. So he's great at just encapsulating things.
He would say things to me like that, and I didn't understand. But when Paul, do you remember this incident on SNL when Sinead O'Connor was on and she tore up the picture of the Pope?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about that. So when I was there, I was a writer, and I was walking by when that happened. I didn't know the severity and the heaviness of it. I just, from Arizona, I don't know anything. So she ripped it up, so I picked up a piece of it and put it in my pocket. and kept walking. And then I come around the corner and it's dead silent. This is the only time in history you've been a musical guest there that no one applauded, no one did anything. It's just dead silent. They went to a commercial, and I come around the corner and there's Lauren holding his Amstel Light, and he goes, Irish. And that was it.
Like,
I don't even know what it meant.
Irish people just tear
funny.
up pictures a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. He's throwing I don't know.
So, Paul.
So, yeah, go ahead, Dana. Give one because I was looking through all the songs, and there are some real toe tappers in here, Paul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
out for toe tappers.
I'm looking at all these, and I'm wondering because we do stand-up sets and all that. Do you, when you go on tour, it's got to be such a heavy deal that you have a set list, or can you change it, or how does that go about?
Yeah, you can change it. Yeah, I mean, normally we get a set list in rehearsal.
Right.
Well, just so as the whole crew knows what's going to happen.
Of course.
And occasionally, you know, if I'm feeling in a very fun mood, I will just say, we're going to do something now that the crew doesn't know about. And that's like a fun moment, you know, and we just throw in some song that the lighting guy doesn't know how to light. But I mean, normally,
Just keep on their toes.
Normally it's the same set. And then if we've been in a place, so let's say we just recently we did Fenway Park in Boston. We did that 2 nights on the run. So the first night, we would have the main set. The second night, we'd probably alter a few of the songs in case someone came to both of the shows.
Ah, that's cool.
So we do that, you know, we have the ability to sort of change the opening song So that's normally what we do. We don't normally do much more than that, I say, because you put a show together, it's like putting an album together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got it right and it's working and it feels good for you, I don't really see the point in changing it, unless for the reason I just mentioned, which is, somebody's seen it all once. And what happens is you end up, even the dialogue it gets like a stage musical, because the dialogue is the jokes that work.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah.
I mean, you can try and do a complete new dialogue every night, but you might find it doesn't work quite as well. So what I do is I tell a story and I tell the same story. Because we got a guy who came to our show who holds up a card, 130. It means he's been to the show 130 times.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I love him, but I do say to him, it's slightly obsessive. But yeah, so that's the thing. But it really is a set list,
which we love. We love.
I have a follow-up. Listen to this. So, Paul, you're doing this. You know your songs. You've got them down. And if you have something new you're going to say in between, does that almost get you more nervous if you're going to tell a story or do something funny in between, because that's a little more unfamiliar?
You know what? I don't know. My theory about nervous and all of that is that when we first started, I used to get really very nervous. And I was trying to think why, because, you know, we were quite popular in the beginning even.
Quite.
My thought was, I look at the audience and I think, they all hate me, so I've got to do something good. I've got to do something good to make them like me. You know, that was where my nerves came from. I think, you know, they're all looking at me like, what's he got? And over the years, I suddenly sort of realized at one point, wait a minute, they've all paid to come and see me, so they probably like me. And once I realized that they probably like me, I really relaxed. And, you know, just got... So, yeah, I'm quite relaxed now. And even if I do some new stuff or try a trick, I'm relaxed enough to do it. What I started doing a couple of years ago was like, coming to an audience that really loves you, for instance, if you haven't been there before, which I love, if you go to a town that you've never been, because they're more excited, you know. And I would feel this energy coming off them, and it'd be like, oh God, this is so great. So I started off then saying, just a minute, you know what? This is all so cool. I'm going to take a minute to take all of this in for myself. And then I walk off the microphone and just sort of stand there.
Wow.
And they all go, ooh. Yeah. I love it. It's a great thing with the audience. But I just think, Jesus, I mean, it's a little bit flash of me just not doing anything, you know. But that comes with the confidence of what I said, thinking, they've come to see you. So even if you just stand there looking around and going,
Well, Elvis in Vegas would just go and do a pose and just be Elvis. And they wanted to love him up so much, you know, before he got to the song. So I think that the time has passed so much and so many people love the songs that it is like a church in a way, you know, because how much the songs have touched them. I just want to ask you, do you have any rituals before you go out, something you eat if you want more energy? Like I'll have a little bit of chocolate. Do you guys do a high five in the band, or do you have any kind of stuff you're doing right before you go out? Because you're going for 3 hours, right? Or 2 hours, 3 hours?
3 hours, yeah, we do. You know, again, all this stuff, you start off just doing a couple of things and it grows into a ritual. You know, you say, oh.
Because everyone expects it at a certain point. You go, let's just do this, then we go on stage, blah, blah, blah.
Ready, go. Yeah.
So what I do in my dressing room is my guy will come in, my show manager, whatever you call him, will come in and he say, okay, that's an hour. You know, in other words, you know, 7:30, you're going on at 8:30. So I go, okay, and start my preparation kind of thing. And so I do certain things. I sort of boil a kettle because I know I'm going to do like a steam thing. The voice, I do that. And then I do, for some unknown reason, I question it every night. I do, with the boiled water, I get a salt. I get salt in a cup and put like a brine solution, which I then gargle with. I've no idea if it does anything.
You don't know where the idea came from?
It seems to work, right? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, you know, so I do a few things like that and then sort of get dressed and into the sort of stage stuff. And then about 10 minutes before we're going on, I will go into the band's dressing room and we then have a little sort of routine where we do Rusty, one of the guitar players, will play a C chord and I'll go, let it be, and they all go ooh, ah, ooh, with the harmony. So we just do a little burst of that and then we do a little burst of Hey Jude and they do the harmonies with that. And the guy comes and says, showtime.
Wow. I love it.
Scary. Yeah. How fun. Do you have, I saw Elton one time and backstage he had probably 300,000 outfits. Do you have probably less than that? And do you, because I'm like, Elton, can't you whittle it down to just 100 that you might wear tonight? Like they have literally every outfit in America in the back. And then he goes, that one. Or do they pick, or do you pick? Do you walk around and go, this one?
You're kind of pretty simple, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I pick my outfit, yeah. I've got a few. There's not an awful lot of variation.
Yeah, it's simple.
I've got a few jackets, few shirts, few trousers, and Beatle boots. So, you know, I can make that.
So you're still wearing Beatle boots, actual Beatle boots, like with the 2.5-inch heels?
No, Beatle boots, man. Everyone's got to wear Beatle boots. That's the sort of, that's just one of the sort of great things, which is like sort of memories and all sorts of stuff for me. You know, what used to happen with the Beatles was we'd show up in what we call our civvies, you know, our street clothes. And so 4 of us would be different human beings. And then we'd get ready for the show. And with the Beatles, often we'd have the same
little
uniform.
Suit.
So we'd
all together, yeah.
So Well, then suddenly we're transformed into like, wow, we're like a group. It's like, it's like military. You're like, wow, we're the same person. And the thing was that when we first started going down to London, we'd found this place that made these groovy Spanishy kind of boots with a heel. And so when you got your outfit on and you pulled these boots on with a heel, you were now taller as well.
Oh, it's a great look.
You were a four-headed beast, but you were a tall four-headed beast.
Yeah, you were like a four-headed beast because it was the most amazing transformation in history because then you were just badasses, right? When you got out there and got into your groove. Yeah.
So that was it. I've always liked that. And I always think, that's a good idea that you pull these boots on and you're a little bit taller. So I've become very used to them as well, so
yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
What's the thing you like to
I wear Skechers. But because Paul, 3 hours, I'm not a great stander. So when I do my stand-up, which everyone's excited about, but when I do my stand-up, it's an hour, and it's tough to get through an hour. 3 hours has got to be tough on you, but you seem to have absolutely no problem with it.
I blame Bruce Springsteen.
I blame him.
I do. I literally, I know him, and I say to him, "It's your fault, man."
Yeah, take it easy, guy.
5-hour things, and the rest of us look, measly if we do an hour. But the Beatles used to do a half hour,
30 minutes, of just hits.
Yeah.
Dig that.
And then they throw you throw you in a van and you just be 4 Beatles just flying all over the place.
But you know how that, again, it's lovely because you start thinking about what was the reason for that? Why did we do that? And I know that when we first started playing clubs and things, the promoter would come up to the comedian and say, "How long do you do?" And with the comedian, it was like 4 minutes. He said, you can do 4 minutes? Yeah, okay. So the comedian would do 4 minutes. So we thought, well, God, if we do like 20 minutes, it's a marathon. So we stretched it to like...
It's an eternity if you do 18.
But the songs were 2 minutes, essentially, in the early days, right? Just bam, 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 she loves you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the great thing was, John would do some of the songs, I would do some of the songs, George would do some of the songs, and Ringo would. So split that through 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, hardly done anything. So,
You shouldn't even get paid for that. That's barely.
Well, I don't know how you play the bass and sing like you do. A lot of people are amazed by that. I tell people who ask me about the Beatles, I say, well, if Paul McCartney was only the bass player, he would be indispensable. You do other things as well, but I just love the way you play bass.
And the thing is, I never wanted that job. Bass player was the worst job in a group, and it was always the fat guy.
How is a fat guy?
Well, you were exotic because you were a lefty, and then you had that Hohner bass for so long that it became sort of iconic and it seemed pretty and lightweight. But what did you find it difficult? Because you can't just strum; you have to hit all the notes perfectly, and Ringo has to stay on time. It seems awfully difficult, but you took to it. Did it take a bit of time?
It was I had a lot of practice in Hamburg. We had a lot of practice. So, it's that 10,000 hours thing that, I started off.
Malcolm Gladwell.
And I did start off playing like the fat guys played, which is...
Sounds very
kind of country western almost, yeah.
But eventually, when James Jamerson came along, the great bass player, and started going... It's like, whoa, he's got a melody going. So that really turned me on. So I completely changed and, just enjoyed being a more melodic
riding around the neck, riding up and down. And, because Love Me Do, I got to say, is a very simple bass line, but that's what that song required, I guess. But that was probably your simplest bass line.
Yeah. And it's funny because we do that in the show now.
You do? Oh, awesome.
That in the show now, yeah. And it's funny because you've got a little auto cue in case if you've got some of the songs have got a lot of lyrics. And so it's kind of handy to just check what
you
the
gotta
next
have
verse is.
Yeah.
Love Me Do. I find myself looking at the auto cue and it's the same chorus. It's Love Me Do every time.
And then you went to Please Please Me, which seemed like such a leap. Please Please Me was kind of your next your top tenor, you know, which was pretty sophisticated from Love, Love Me Do.
Please me.
Oh, yeah. No, and the thing about that was, again, looking back on it, is that it was all directed at our fans. Because, you know, we were new to this whole idea of fans and autographs. It was wonderful and new and wow, you know. So love me do. So there's the personal pronoun. So the next one is please, please me.
Me.
Then there's from me to you. And then there's she loves you. I want to hold your hand.
Was this intentional?
I'm looking through you.
Huh?
I'm looking through
you.
So it's really trying to reach directly the fans. I think I should do more of it these days, actually.
Let's do a redo.
It's a good trick.
I saw you.
Wait, I have a question for Paul, real quick.
Love
it. Did you know Elvis? Did you see Elvis out back in the day?
We met him. Yeah.
Was there any competition, or was he just sort of big here, and then you got here, and it's just two different things?
Well, you know, we loved him. He was like the start of everything to us. We're in Liverpool, and you know, you're listening to the radio or seeing the TV, and it was sort of old-fashioned kind of music, or I don't know, novelty songs and stuff. Okay, but then suddenly rock and roll came out, and so this creature.
A creature.
Presley.
Yeah.
It was like unbelievable. He was so good looking. His voice was so amazing. The way he danced was so incredible. So, you know, we just loved him anyway. And loved him mainly. We loved him all the time. Well, after he came out of the army, we thought they ruined him because they put trombones on the record and things like that, which we weren't that keen on. But we met him. We tried to meet him a lot, and eventually we went to the house he was renting in LA, and we all showed up there, and like the four
good God
again, and knocked on his door, and there is where it goes strange.
Oh, really?
Because my memory is Elvis came to the door and let us in. And Ringo says, no, we didn't. No, somebody else let us in.
Someone else let us in.
So I'm going with my memory anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was fantastic. He was really cool. We thought he was just so good looking.
He was voted, by the way, do you know he was voted the most handsome man of the 20th century by some poll or some magazine?
Yeah, well.
That Elvis, so the best looking man can also sing better than any human being.
I mean, it's too much.
It was
too much.
You know, so he was lovely, and he started playing on a bass. He picked up a bass. So I thought, well, here's something I can talk about. So, you know, we talked a bit of bass, and then he had, what amazed us was he had a remote, because in England they didn't have remotes for your TV.
Oh, sweet.
So this was the first remote we'd ever seen. So he put his thing in his hand and he goes, and the television channel changes. We go,
sorcery. Yeah, how crazy. Yeah,
and he was playing this record, Moher Sam, who played that over and over, Moher Sam.
How did that go? Moher Sam. What was that song? Moher Sam.
Moher Sam by Charlie Rich. It's great. It's a good song. So it was magic, you know, meeting him. And so we loved him and everything. And I continue to love him to this day, even though he tried to bust us to Nixon.
What?
Was that when he was a sheriff or something?
This tape of him saying, you know, those Beatles, they're Americans. He's been busting us. And I'm going, Elvis.
I'm telling you, I don't trust no Beatles. I'm telling you that.
I still love him anyway. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you go see him ever? Did you see him go live?
Did what?
Did you go watch him at the Hilton or anything?
No. I never saw him live, no. Well, we only that meeting, but I never saw him live. But he was great, just.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable, yeah. I mean, just the fact that you guys got in the same room, that must have been pretty. You're probably both nervous, to meet each other in a weird way.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Have you been has anyone talked to you since Get Back came out, the documentary? Probably have done some interviews. Yeah. We found, what's your feedback from the fans? I mean, I found it just revelatory and amazing and brilliant. I just loved it. And we were seeing you guys up close. I remember you, just the work ethic of you guys and the chemistry between the four of you sitting around. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Was it surreal? I mean, if there was video of me in my 20s doing stand-up, there's no record of me at that age. And you're watching yourself at like 27 or 8. But how did you find it? I mean, you enjoyed it, right?
Well, it was kind of magical for me because that period had, in my memory, had always been a little bit dark because it was to do with the Beatles breaking up. So the first Let It Be film was cut a little bit with that in mind. So I found it a bit depressing.
Yes.
And I never wanted to watch the first Let It Be film. And so when Peter Jackson was slated to do this version, I said to him, Peter, I'm not sure I'm going to like this because, I got blamed for breaking up the Beatles. And in actual fact, it wasn't me.
No.
And I've been trying to explain that to people for years and years. And he said, well, okay, you took it on board. But then after a couple of months he'd been working on it, he got in touch with me. He said, it's not like that at all. He said, it's amazing. He said, it's just these 4 guys in a room and you're having fun and you're working together. So he sent me a little clip, which really saved my life.
Nice.
There's a little bit where John and I'm working on, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just strumming on the bass and John's on the piano. And at the end of it, I say, Mondays on Tuesdays on the phone to me. And I go, hello, Tuesday. How you going? All right. And John immediately picks it up.
Yeah,
Tuesday, he's coming round. I can't remember what he says.
Yeah. Tuesday's coming over.
We gave this little routine, if I'm ringing Tuesday. And I thought, oh, God, yeah, that's how it was. It was fantastic. So, I loved it. I really loved it. And, with Peter, what do you call it, remastering it.
Yeah, make it so shiny and bright. And
making it sharp and everything and the sound and all of that. It was like having an old home movie of yourself.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But perfect. And, and I forgave myself when I saw that. Because I'm thinking, no, everyone's messing around. And we're all messing around. We're goofing around. It's not like we haven't got to do anything in a month's time with these songs we haven't written yet.
14 songs.
So, but
what were you forgiving yourself about? Yeah. Why did you feel you had to forgive yourself?
I thought I was too bossy. I thought that would be the problem. Was that, but when I saw the film, I'm not being bossy at all. I'm just trying to get people to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm just trying to get us, come on, guys. It's 2 weeks off, So some people have said to me, you'd ask about feedback. People have said to me, well, someone had to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Someone had to be that guy. So I forgave myself, let myself off. I thought, that's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to be pushy, or I was just trying to get the work done. And the other aspect I thought was great is that the way we just goofed around.
That's what I loved.
You think, but John Cleese had a thing where it was work as a tool. No, play as a tool.
Yes.
So in other words, you're goofing, and then you come to do the thing. So yeah, we messed around with the songs so much that it made them not intimidating. We'd done them as jokes. Hello, Tuesday. So when you came to do the song, you weren't as frightened as you might have been. It was just this stuff you've been goofing around on.
I don't want to interrupt that flow, but sometimes you guys would, to release pressure, I guess, is sing some of your brilliant songs from the years previous, but in a funny voice. That always struck me that was very funny. You all would do that. I mean, you just...
Again, that's the thing,
You take the wind out of it in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten that we did that. Yeah. I kind of knew we did it, but I'd forgotten the specifics. So Peter's film then just shows us working on the song Two of Us. And John and I decided we'll do it like It's just the fact that, and we don't just do it for 2 lines.
No.
We do the whole bloody song.
Goes for minutes.
And we're looking at each other, and that spirit was always there from the minute I met John.
Yeah.
Till the minute the Beatles broke up and beyond, actually, there was always that sort of, we're just 2 guys goofing our way through the world.
I think sense of humor connects young cliques and friendships more than anything, because that sensibility of what is funny and how are things funny, and you guys had it together. You could see all 4 of you kind of knew when it was getting good. But I totally relate to when I'm working on something of wanting to get away from it, because you're sort of problem solving and it gives you a headache. I've got a feeling. And then you go away, go incredibly goofy, and then come back. It was really fun to watch. I'm so glad that is in this documentary.
No, I must say I was so pleased with it, because all the things we mentioned, the way the picture was beautiful. It looked like it could have been shot a week before, except it has this beautiful color.
Gorgeous.
These colors, the color grading is beautiful. The sound is amazing. All the things that Peter's team did were so great. And then I say, the way I was able to let myself off the hook and just think. And the thing is, guys like you who are in the business, all you and other people who I've met, they talk about what they liked about the film was seeing the process.
Sure. It's riveting.
We would call the process.
The process.
But,
well, we were glad to know that there was the work ethic. The genius part comes in, I'll use the word here, is knowing when it's good.
Yeah.
And so you guys, not quite right. And then you would look at each other and get feedback. I always say collaboration is affirmation. It's not that they're writing the chords. It's like, yes, that. And it just comes out where George was a little persnickety about, I've got a feeling. Is a song called I've Got a Feeling? And then later on he came to you and said, it's getting quite good, just little moments like that. But yeah, the process was just work ethic and going until it's good.
Yeah.
And don't stop. Yeah.
And we didn't know where we were going to do it. It was maybe going to be Libya, or it was maybe going to be on an ocean liner.
I know.
In the end, it was just up on the roof.
Oh yeah, that was. I think you guys looked the coolest. That rooftop show, the beards and everything. Was that the last time you did a gig together? Was that it?
Yeah, that was the last time we ever played live together. Yeah.
But all the fear was gone. All the fear was gone by the time you guys. It was emancipatory watching the struggle creatively, and then watching you guys in the pocket immediately, like just so zoned in, and then you're looking at John smiling. He's looking at you like, damn, we're good. You could, at least that's the way I saw it. Like, holy shit.
I think that's true. Yeah. And then John's doing a song and he doesn't know the words. So he just gets Kevin to hold the bit of paper. Just the way it was not important. We're just making a film on the roof.
Yeah.
Even though it was very important.
Yes.
And it's a big film, but being able to treat it like, this doesn't matter, was a secret with the Beatles.
The people that are like me and newer that every year goes by, there's just certain clips you will see of you guys, and they're the ones from TV. And so to get such a huge chunk of your life, it's not just a photograph. To get hours of you just sitting and talking, you get like, who would ever think they'd get to see that? If I saw it of myself, a day in my life, 20, 30, 40 years ago, like not just a picture, it would blow my mind at what things I'd be looking at. I don't remember any of that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's so riveting and authentic.
And one thing, Paul, that you were like, any songwriter goes through periods that are up and down. You were kind of on an upswing around that album. And I think when you were like, sometimes Ringo or people would stop and sort of look. And I think you were doing Long and Windy Road or something. And everyone, the studio would get kind of quiet, like, uh-oh, what's he got now, So you were in a kind of an upswing creatively at that time, right?
Yeah. And it was funny because if you're on a creative upswing, the awkward thing is, like I was saying, I didn't want to seem like I was bossy. The awkward thing is you don't want to be the guy with the good songs.
I see.
You want to just let me sort of squeeze these in and shuffle them in between other songs. It wasn't totally true, of course, because George was coming up with something, and there was all sorts.
Well,
of
Abbey Road
stuff
was being hatched out there, and then you went in the studio a month later, and then you get this work of art, Abbey Road, where everyone came together one last time in such a brilliant way. So that's arguably right up there with any of your albums with your lads.
Well, again, the nice thing about it is that John could tell I was coming up with like sort of, Let It Be and stuff like that.
Yeah, we could tell.
Yeah.
A friendly competition, yes.
I had to sing it a bit po-faced. I couldn't go, let it be, let it be. When I find myself, I had to be like, this is serious. Good old John, he says, and now, hark the herald angels sing. He has to take, right before the take.
Yeah, he's got taking the piss out of you. Yeah.
And then I've got a straight face. I've got to try and do this song, selling this lovely feeling.
With someone making faces.
Well, do you underplay it when you play it just because it's not like showing off? You're like, that's an interesting concept. Yeah.
I've never come into the studio, well, mind you, none of us ever have, and said, I got this great song. Just come in, we play it and stuff. And, that was the great thing about John. He often did that. He'd try and take the mickey. Just because
right before you. Well, they were brilliant songs, and but you asked him in the documentary. You said, "Have you got anything?" You were asking for more ammunition.
Yeah.
Like I got these, but have you got anything? And he goes, "I got a real, something. It's going to be a basha." Kind of a non-answer, really. But he, when you guys did "If I Fell" 2-part harmony, and you sang into each other's faces, and it's such a love song. You guys couldn't keep us. It must take a long time to you look at, right? If I fell in love with you, and you're looking at each other. How did you get through that? The song is wonderful, but how did you guys get through that take?
I don't know. I don't know. Some of the time you didn't get through it, but then it's like you've got to straighten up at some point just to make the record. But now that I think the humor, like you said before, the humor from the word go,
yes,
of meeting John, that was what we loved about each other. And again, you couldn't say you loved each other,
no,
because you're Liverpool guys and you're trying to be hard and you're trying to be tough. All right, man, yeah, it's okay, yeah, it's not bad. So you never really praised each other at all,
right?
But you did it with humor.
Yeah, and that was the Beatles.
You just goofed and sort of said, "Yeah, it's all right."
That's what John Lennon had said about Pete Best. To your point, he said, "Why?" He goes, "He wasn't a Beatle," and the Beatles are humor. Ringo is really funny, and George, and all you guys were so funny together. One thing I want to ask you about, which I find interesting, like if John writes a song, and then he shows it to you, and you're going to play bass, and you're going to write some really cool bass, and Did he ever just sort of go, hey, thanks for the bass part? Because even in She's So Heavy, some of the stuff you're doing on Abbey Road, because after these remasters, we finally got to hear your bass and Ringo's drums. You know, that's why the Beatles are still evolving as an idea, because everything is. But your bass playing on some of his songs, I mean, he must have really loved the riffs you were coming up with for Dear Prudence or Come Together. Maybe you did that little first part. I don't know which ones you did.
Yeah, I think so. You know, the thing was when we wrote them, like you say, he'd come to me or I'd go to him. That was 2 acoustic guitars.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no question of bass. Bass came later. That was like an afterthought. So that, and Come Together, that was a special circumstance because he came in and he basically brought in a Chuck Berry song. Chuck Berry did a song called You Can't Catch Me.
Okay.
Which starts off, you come all flat top, here you go. It's the exact opening line.
Yeah.
So John brings in, I remember we're in Abbey Road Studio number 2, and John comes in and he says, yo, listen to this one. I've got this boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. You come all flat top. And I'm going, John, stop. That's You Can't Catch Me by Chuck Berry. He goes, yeah, I know, but it's good though, isn't it? You know? And I said, well, no, we got to do something with it. So that was a case where we had to get it out of that Chuck Berry tempo. And, you know, you couldn't change that opening line. It's just such a good opening line. And John had to pay Chuck Berry for using that later.
Okay. He come on flat top. He got
early
groovy
sampling.
like slowly.
Yeah.
So you wrote that bass that that was the opening. You wrote that bass line.
That was on the session. He comes in, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka. No, got to start. How about we slow down and we go boom, 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 boom. You know, got to do that. And then bingo, and suddenly we had this swampy groove. And then John just said, "Hey, come on, flat top." He started singing on top of it. And it just all came
it's one of the best. Okay, it's one of the best openings of a song, and also him going.
Yeah, that is.
You know, he goes shoot. I mean, that is just when you guys record that shit and you hear it back in the room, or you go into the engineering room and and you hear it back and you know it's so right. What a high that must be.
It was, man. Yeah. I must say.
What about writing it? I mean, the words are so crazy. Do you guys just try to out crazy each other on the lyrics, or did you write the whole thing, or does everyone just throw in something?
No, it's a funny thing. You know, I listen to songs these days a lot, and a lot of songs make sense. Whereas, you know, we're going, here come old flat top, you got
groovy like slowly.
The realist. And the truth is, because we loved that kind of art. Mm-hmm. We liked the realism. We got it. We liked the sort of crazy words and stuff. So, you know, whereas we would try and write songs like Let It Be or, you know, more sensible songs kind of thing.
Yes.
We also loved the crazy stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
Well, everyone tries to figure it out too, which is even more maddening.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, you know, that's the thing. I think what was good about it is that if you look at all the Beatles songs, and hopefully my songs right through,
for sure.
There's no two that are the same. Whereas you get a lot of recording artists who will, you know, we used to say the Supremes were great, we loved them, but it was stop in the name of love, or baby love, and you know, it was kind of the same record, just, you know, they kept the same style, and we always tried to switch it, so it'd be like,
oh my God,
Come Together, Eleanor Rigby, Yellow Submarine,
right?
It's like.
Yeah, a day in the life, or you know, here, there, and everywhere. She's leaving
now,
home.
Paul, if you do something like A Day in the Life, or even like later with Admiral Halsey, I'm just thinking of random ones. But when there's so many layers to them and so many change ups, I don't know as much about music as Dana.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
But it's so interesting to listen to. Like, where do you stop? Where do you think this is it, or where is it too much? Because you always seem to land on exactly what it should be. And we don't know the other versions, but it must be tough, or with your bandmates, to say, I feel like this is it, or we need one more this in it, because they're so mystical, the way they come together and stop and start, and the arrangements.
I mean, that in those kind of songs, that normally just happens in the writing. Luckily, unlike a lot of people these days, a lot of people will go in without a song. The discipline that we sort of learned was you had to have a song, which does make a lot of sense.
Yes, and we have recordings on the Escher tapes. We have recordings of you guys working out the songs.
All of those songs, like Day in the Life, we knew that was going to happen. Or when this bit comes now. And so we had the framework. And then with me, like Live and Let Die, I knew that was going to be framework. Or Uncle Albert, we were talking about.
Yeah.
You knew that framework, and then you went in and gussied it up, kind of thing,
I put Live and Let Die up. Sorry.
Solid gussying.
I put that up with Goldfinger. I think that is it.
Oh, Live and Let Die is
goes
unreal.
so avant-garde with the like keyboards in the middle. Dun 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 dun. It's
and in concert, you got the lights going, explosions.
And we got all the explosions and that.
Yeah, it's great.
The guy who does our explosions, our pyrotechnic guy, is called Shaky.
Perfect.
Good old Shaky.
It's not gonna. You're not gonna feel any heat. I promise you.
Is Day in the Life? Was that sort of? It's hard to pick a number one. Was that voted as the best one, the favorite for the fans?
It's pretty damn good. I mean, what happened was John came to my house in London, and I've got like a music room up on the top floor. So he came up there and we sitting around, and it was his song essentially. And he starts doing this, I read the news today, oh boy. And so we're working into that. And then after that, we're going to go to a second verse and then all that. And then we get to the bit, I'd love to turn.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking at each other thinking, we're really being naughty boys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd love to turn you on.
Were you allowed to say on? That was probably pretty controversial.
It was a bit, yeah, but it was like we knew as we looked at each other, we knew, we've got to do this. And there was this little conspiratorial look between us. It's like, oh yeah.
You're getting away with it.
It was always good to throw in something a little bit naughty. It's like, it took you back to being a naughty schoolboy.
Yeah.
It's like, doing something that was a little bit, but no, that was a great song to write.
What about when it goes ba-boom, ba-boom, psh? It's just like, it's got sort of a haunting feel to it when you're singing.
I mean, Ringo's Toms, yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Ringo's Toms. And then woke up, got out of bed. All of it fit together so beautifully. It's just one of those magic things. I guess you can't predict it. You hope, but you know what I find interesting? We only have so much time. How much the medley has gone into higher esteem as later on with your fans on the side 2 of Abbey Road that you put together with you and John, and it sort of is like worked out to be a perfect mic drop for the band. And in the end,
Yeah.
So that whole thing is, I love it. Every time I'm on XM listening to the Beatles channel and that comes on, and stereo and cars are amazing now. So I really feel like I'm hearing it like maybe you guys did or something. But that piece of music is extraordinary.
That's not Golden Slumbers where he goes, go.
Oh, yeah, that's all in there.
When you rip that out,
you never give me a money.
No, I mean, what I say, one of the great things about technology is that if you go into a museum, you'll see Winston Churchill's old papers, and they get older and crinklier as the years go by. Beatles stuff gets brighter and sharper and more wonderful because of technology. So you can suddenly hear it in surround sound. Yeah. And you can hear every single little thing. And that continues.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
You're hearing all these little details that you kind of didn't know were there. So I think that's a kind of great thing.
I think the Beatles
some people say, well, why are you remastering all the time? Why'd you do that? You know, they say, I like the original.
I know who comes up to you.
I want to meet this person.
Doing?
What are you doing with the remasters? There's plenty good enough.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know, and it's like, no. It's really good. In fact, we're just about to do, I think it's Revolver. And I was with Giles Martin, George Martin's son, who's kind of in charge of all that stuff these days.
Giles Martin.
And it's pretty amazing. You know, the details. It's lovely.
Revolver is another one. It's hard to pick. There's so much genius flying around, but Revolver was very special. When I went back when they were remastered, I listened beginning to end. And that one did kind of stay in my head a bit. There was some kind of revolution going on with that, you know. I mean, you had Eleanor Rigby on there. I mean, it was just yeah.
No, it was time. It was a good time for us creatively, you know, because as I said earlier, it's like we knew we didn't want to repeat ourselves. So, you know, I would come up with Eleanor Rigby or something and bring that
401, another one. This is
and
great.
George Martin would sort of say, you know, listen, you know, this would be great with just strings. And the others would all agree. I mean, when I brought in Yesterday, I played it to the guys and sort of said, okay, you know, not like, what are we going to do? And the Ringo was saying, well, I can't put any drums on it. And George, well, it doesn't need any more guitars. So it was just me on my own. And George Martin came in and he said, a string quartet would be great. And I said, no, it wouldn't.
Wow.
You know,
so you stood up.
We're a rock band, man. But he was very clever. George was the ultimate producer. He said, well, let's do it. And if you don't like it, we can take it off.
He was such a gentleman. When you see him walking around, even get back, he's very well dressed. And there was just this gentlemanly quality about him. Very calm.
You're lucky you didn't have Colonel Tom Parker.
That wouldn't have been.
That's the difference between you and Elvis. He had bad management.
I don't know how much time we have, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of your recent stuff.
Yeah.
Egyptian Station, especially the song I Don't Know. And you know, it seems like journalists, who really cares what they think, but it seems like they're a little more enamored. I mean, your peers are not putting out this kind of stuff. You know, McCartney 3, which I just loved. I always like specific compliments. A Deep, Deep Feeling is such a magical song about the fist fight in your head between the light and the dark, is the way I look at it. You know, and also All the Pretty Boys is so sweet. But anyway, you've just been so, you're just going at it. And you have your book of lyrics, 1956 to the present. And then you've got your album. Then you just did a tour, and Bruce Springsteen's your friend. How cool is that? He's, fun seeing you two in Glastonbury together playing.
Yeah, and, you know, I feel very lucky because of that, because, you know, and I'm a little bit amazed at the fact that I'm still into it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I sometimes just think, you know, I should be jaded by now.
For sure. I am.
I should be fed up with this whole thing. But, you know, each time I do something like McCartney 3, which is basically just lockdown fun. You know, that was something to do.
Lockdown Fun. That should be the name of the album, or the subtitle, Lockdown Fun.
Yeah. But, you know, like Deep Deep Feeling was very indulgent because it wasn't going to be an album.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just me playing around in the studio. But, I love what I do. I feel very lucky to be a songwriter. You know, it hits me occasionally. I go, shit, I've ended up as a musician. I've ended up like as a songwriter. I never intended that. You know, I was supposed to be an English teacher.
Well, you're teaching us all how to keep going. You know, there is no reason to stop. And these songs you've come up with recently, I mean, Queenie Eye from the new album, I mean, you know, I think you're in another kind of upswing creatively these last few years. And so it's remarkable and amazing. And we love you because we can say that now because it's 2022, because your music tells us who you are, and you're sentimental, and you're sweet, but you also, deal with everything we all deal with, And so it's been...
Well, I'm glad I came on the show because, I'm getting loads of adulation, and you can adule anytime.
Paul, every question we do sounds like the Chris Farley show. I do have to say that when you did the sketch with Chris
on Saturday Night Live, that is a classic.
Such a great one.
I know, that was so lovely.
Yeah, and everyone was in a jealous rage quietly watching that he got to hang out with you, and it was one of the highlights of his life. He said right after, and it was so good. I like when he said, "And in the end, the love you take," and he said, "Is that true?"
Is that true?
And you go, yeah, I like that. Like the thing you played that so well, by the way, in the sketch, because I rewatched it the other day, and I was like, look at Paul plays this perfectly, because it's hard. You could screw that side up too, but you did great.
There's a couple of things that was like my favorite SNL thing, and then I did a thing with Martin Short.
Yes, I watched that last night where you're playing the triangle.
I really love that,
And Martin Short was trying to break you. I mean, he was so committed, screaming at you that you can't sing, screaming at Paul McCartney, quote unquote.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. And then that was such a cool transition, and the thing opens, and then you go and play Christmas Time. Yeah. That was so. Will you be at SNL on the 50th? I guess, have you picked out what you're going to wear? That's in 3 years' time.
I'm going to wear Beatle boots.
You know what? If you are, I'm going to wear some too. I'm going to wear some too. I want to be 5'10" and a half.
I'll take 5'9" and a half. Whatever. Just
we want to be 2.5 up. But anyway,
whatever
Paul. This has been such a pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Paul, thank you. Every time I see your show, you give 1,000% for people to go see it. It's such a great, everyone, they know all the songs, sing along, and it's such a blast. Look forward to seeing you again, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, man. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you, boys.
All right.
I love you.
We could say it now. I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. All right, Dana, we got a little AMA. Ask us anything.
Let's do it. AMA, which means
AUA.
Master.
Ask us anything.
Ask us anything. Wouldn't that be ask?
It's usually ask
US,
me.
it should be AUA.
Yeah,
ask us anything. What's the M for?
It was ask me anything. That's the term.
Ask me anything?
But it's us.
I don't trust this.
Jose Sanchez Fournier. I knew a kid named Fournier.
Jose Sanchez.
From Puerto Rico.
So Sanchez is his middle name?
I don't know.
His last name is Fournier?
Shit, that should be the question.
Fournier.
The question is, love the podcast. I like they start with that. Smart.
Thank you, Jose.
You're both great interviewers. We found out that was a lie.
This is good.
The lie detector. That was a lie. We're not great interviewers. He says, have you always been that way, or was it something you developed as your career evolved? Keep up the great work.
Geez, well, first of all, I've got to take a moment. I'm getting vapors just accepting the premise that we're both great interviewers, and how do we possibly do it and keep up the great work? This guy's the nicest. We got to send him a fly on the wall coffee mug.
Yeah, we got to get our merch going.
We don't have
question. Where's the merch? Do we get questions about merch? Yes. Okay,
David, you want to answer this first? Because I have my own answer.
I think we are okay interviewers, but we're good at talking over each other, and we're good at laughing at our own jokes. And I think that is important.
If a great interviewer is talking about yourself and over talking your guests after you ask them a question, if that's the definition of a great interviewer, then we are, David.
Exactly. We had to take a cutting off class. We said, whenever they're about to say something really interesting, make sure you stop them in their tracks.
When we have a guest in the studio, sometimes I just want to reach out, grab their neck, and just start squeezing. Would they shut up?
Shut up.
Because I want to talk.
No one's here to listen to you.
But I've learned to temper that violence.
Yeah.
I'm verbally violent.
Sometimes the guest leaves and Dana and I do another half hour. I go, did they take off?
Well, sometimes we don't roll cameras or mics, but David will just interview each other over and over for hours of the night.
So, Jose, thank you for asking. And
Yeah,
we take your comment. You started with a flattering thing and ended with a compliment.
And so we're not all sarcastic. I do find sarcasm, new word. I really find people fascinating, and I like interviewing people. And I think everybody's got a story. And so if you like it, I think we're improving and learning as we go. But if you like it and say it's great, I'll take it. But we're not there yet.
Honestly, we do actually try to not talk over each other and not to cut people off. But we get excited and we don't want long pauses. And I don't know.
Well, podcasting is about authenticity. And so we authentically overlap each other and talk over them and interrupt them. So we're just being very podcasty. But I noticed, David, just a personal observation, that your research level has has
gone up.
Yeah, you got a lot of questions. So we're both learning. We've only done 365 of these. No, how many have we done?
Probably 50.
But I would just say we're a work in progress. Thanks for the good cheer, Jose, and we'll try to get better.
And we already took our class on how to answer questions longer, so we're really doing well there. Thank you, Jose. We'll see you on the cast.
Ask another question someday, Jose.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
This has been a podcast presentation of Cadence 13. Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes. Available now for free wherever you get your podcast.
No joke, folks. Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13, executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment.
The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman with production and engineering support from Serena Regan and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.